What's happening, everybody? Welcome to Elite Encounters and our complete playthrough of Paizo's Bloodlord's Adventure Path for Pathfinder 2nd Edition. Want to give a special welcome out to the Elite. That's everyone out there that is subscribing to our content, both on Twitch and now on YouTube, as well as our Patreon supporters. So if you're out there new, checking out the show, be sure to like, follow, subscribe. If you're on YouTube, be sure to hit that subscribe button. It doesn't cost you a thing, and it helps grow the content that we're trying to deliver to everyone out there. And while you're there, be sure to check out the links to our Patreon. We have 4 really cool tiers with physical rewards starting at the 2nd, 3rd, and 4th tiers. That financial support helps us continue to bring you the best content that we can possibly provide for you. So, got a couple things here. First, I want to welcome back. We have the entire cast here tonight, so I'm glad to have everyone back at the table. I'm glad everyone's feeling well and ready to play. Are you guys ready to play?
Heck yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, good.
What am I playing?
Just look at the show.
That's right.
If you're on multiple shows, it is hard to keep track. But when you look at down at your shirt, you say, oh, it's blood.
That's it.
You're on Bloodlords.
That's right.
Yeah. It's like when your mom pins the little piece of paper on your shirt when you go to school. I don't know. Maybe it was just me. Okay. Anyway.
I think
I'm glad everyone's back here.
just you.
I think it was just me. Okay. Well, okay, that's a little too much about me. I also want to make sure I point out that and give a thanks out to the crew that's back there, making sure that the cameras, the lights, the sound, all the music you hear, everything that's going on behind the scenes to help bring you the show. So thank you, TJ, out there for doing that for us. We appreciate it. And Overwatch, wherever you're at, please get better and get back, because we miss you. So I got a couple things before we get into the recap, but first I want to make sure that I hand you guys out your skull bones.
Oh, yeah.
Right? So these are representing our hero points for the campaign. This is an integral part to Pathfinder 2nd Edition, is this hero point system. So I'll let you pass those along there.
Thank you.
There's your lifesaver.
Yeah.
Mert needs it all the time, apparently.
Mert's special stash. So everybody gets one to start the session, and you all know that, but the audience may not.
You better be glad that I like him.
Yeah, you did spend one to save him one time.
Yep.
It was
I did.
Pretty clutch. So these represent the hero points. For those of you who are new and maybe don't know this, everybody gets one to start the show, and you may earn one later in the show. Depends on how I feel, I guess. And
To entertain you.
Yeah, you have to entertain me, right? That's how these games work. So you pay or entertain the DM, and they give you rewards. Anyway, that's the skull bone. So let's talk now about the recap, what happened last session. Normally we do our little actually right now, and then do the recap. I'm going to switch things up, because the recap is going to lead right into a slight actually, and then we'll get right into action, okay?
Cool.
So last time, you continued exploring the manor after your run-in with Argoon the Annihilator. Explored several bedrooms. You found a secret chamber with an altar. You discovered some keys. There was a sketch of a skull, right, that had like the little mouth coming out of the jaws. And there was a note bequeathing this manor to Kalek's companion, his faithful companion, Smoke. And then you also found a bucket of teeth. In that teeth were a pair of metal vampire fangs, which I can't remember. Did you put those right into your mouth? No, you didn't. Okay. So,
I refused.
Okay, so there's
Be
like in your
washed
pocket
thoroughly.
for right now?
Yeah, there maybe I don't know if I picked them up, because I just kind of were like a little disgusted.
Okay.
Totally fair.
Fair enough.
Because I'm like, I don't really want to put something.
Especially that have been lingering in with countless
teeth,
other people's.
And blood and gore.
Yeah, there is some concern there, right?
Yes.
But anyway, you did find some really nice metal vampire teeth. You know, do what you want with them. I would have popped them right in my mouth.
No, I'm sure.
Yeah, that's horrible. Yes, you're finding out more and more about me. No, I would not do that. I am, as a trained medical laboratorian, no.
The bloodborne pathogen training.
Yeah, it's been
Got
drilled into me deeply.
Yep.
You also found some drawings in a drawing room of some strange segmented worm-like creatures, and a note that, new infestation, ? Something along those lines. You explored the basement shortly after and figured out just what that infestation was as you were attacked by 2 ostavites, these kind of segmented worms that were piloting these skeletal conglomerations, amalgamations of bones that they used as like a chariot to attack you with. And for the first time that night, Mert went inert and was dropped to the dying condition. But that's all right. We have some things to pull people through. You continue to explore the basement and found a couple crypts. Some of them, most of the coffins were open. You did find a coffin that was closed. When you opened that lid, a scrabbling rib cage came out. Combat ensued. You handled that fairly well and found a small smoky quartz figurine of a canine figure. And there was some conjecture there, like, well, what is that? Who is that? Close by those crypts, you found a pool of roiling viscera that Ophelia was very curious about. She kind of experimented with it, poked it, and her knowledge of things esoteric and occult revealed to her that this is likely some sort of scrying pool. Although it's not water or a still liquid, it's roiling masses of guts and viscera. But to each their own. To figure out how to actually use it, though, you might have to spend some time studying it and figuring it out. So now it's
attune to the guts.
It's a little bit beyond you. I don't know that you have to attune to the guts. Maybe just learn more.
Gotta think like guts.
Think like guts. Yes, that's.
Feed it.
When in doubt.
Oh, jeez.
You then found a small torture chamber with that. There was a portrait of a warrior there with a very large halberd and one hand kind of tucked in his jacket. And inside there was also several giant rats that you managed to stomp to death and or stab to death. And then following along that hallway, you found 4 identical cells that you unlocked with those 4 keys you found upstairs. And somebody noticed that, I think it was Persephone, that those skulls that line the walls, some of them, if you look through the orbits, you could see all the way through the back of the skull, there were peepholes. Like the skulls were acting like peepholes into the cell.
Right.
Pretty disturbing.
And we still haven't figured out how to get back there.
Yeah.
Correct, right. You were on your way there, as a matter of fact, when you stumbled onto an ostavite nest that as you approached, the hatchlings that were swarming about it got a little agitated and sprayed acid at everyone, which is causing some problems now.
Yes.
Because those that failed their save, which if I recall correctly were Mert, Ophelia, and Persephone, are taking persistent acid damage.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? Which brings us to tonight's actually. Let's talk about persistent damage, okay? Because there's, we did some back and forth. I think you were taking some persistent damage, and there was like some healing done, and we thought, oh, that just gets rid of it. Persistent damage is actually a lot worse than what I had originally thought, right? This is definitely some changeover from first edition Pathfinder, and it is a lot potentially deadlier. Okay, so persistent damage is not stopped by healing unless you are brought to full hit points through that magical healing, and then it only removes the bleeding persistent damage.
Oh, so acid
is still going.
persistence.
Okay, so how do you get rid of persistent damage then? The way it works is it's going to tick on your turn at the end of your turn. Okay, so you get your 3 actions. Then when your 3 actions are done, burn. Okay, then you make a flat check. Typically, the flat check of that, the DC of that flat check, I should say, is 15. Okay, make sure I get this right. I got notes. So that happens automatically at the end of your turn. You burn, you bleed, you freeze, whatever the persistent problem is, and then you get, maybe it wears off, okay? You can also spend 2 actions on your turn to do something creative, right? This is where you get your juices flowing and get into like thinking about chemistry, maybe thinking about, other ways to stop this kind of damage. If you spend 2 actions that are kind of make sense to the GM, that's me, to give you an extra opportunity to fight off this persistent damage, you spend those 2 actions. For example, if you're taking persistent, cold damage, if you hold a flame to yourself, or I don't know, maybe that sounds counterproductive, but you would immediately get to make a new flat check on your turn right after you do the thing at a DC 10, okay? The real caveat of this is this can happen once per round. So you can't just round robin and go, I'm Mert, I'm burning, I'm gonna pour milk on myself. And then you get a flat check 10, and then, okay, Mert's turn ends, and then it's Persephone's turn, and she's like, oh, I got a jug of milk too, and she dumps a jug of milk on you. You get to do it once per round. So you can't like...
Right, you're basically immune to the benefit of it. Yep.
Yeah, which makes sense if you think about this in like a thematic sense, not necessarily like a mechanical sense.
But important, because flat check 15, that's not easy.
It's not easy, but to be fair, most persistent damage, unless it says otherwise, will run its course, right? Acid won't burn you forever. If you get splashed with acid, eventually it'll burn enough to where it's neutralized. It's fed enough on your flesh to like, okay, my job here's done. Typically that's up to the GM, and typically that goes about a minute. So we'll go, I don't know, 3-4 minutes. I don't know. Depends on how
So you're all dead.
much cash you slip me under the table before we get there. So that being said, that's how persistent damage is going to work. I still have the initiative order from last time. I still have who's taking persistent acid damage. Why don't we just jump right in to encounter mode, and maybe some more maybe tense environment, tense
bad.
music, tense lights,
Yeah.
tense scene.
I do have one question.
Sure.
Last week, some of us did not get the persistent damage.
That's correct.
The acid.
If you made the save, you are... Oh, so you're saying you didn't
I
actually
didn't
take
actually take any damage.
Okay,
from
so go ahead and
persistent.
take 20 then for bringing that up. Pointing out my mistake, you take 20 points of damage.
I'm out then.
No, I'm kidding. I don't know. I think it was maybe 2 rounds. So
Yeah.
those of you who should have been taking persistent damage, thanks for keeping me honest. I appreciate it, actually. Just take 2 damage. So it would have ticked at the end of your turn, and then we'll start rolling into flat checks now. Is that cool with you guys?
Absolutely.
Okay, so that being said, it's the start of this round. Alara, you were slowly walking towards Mert when this kind of was happening.
Okay.
Right now, I think you're about 15, 20 feet from him. It is your turn. And you see he is burning, you see he is in very bad shape as well.
Yes.
You also know that Persephone and Ophelia are also burning with acid.
Ooh. I don't know that I have much that can help with this situation.
But I do remember that we did break the nest, so like the immediate threat from more hatchlings is at least subsided for the moment.
That's correct. It does seem that most of them have scattered off into the bones and rock wall around you. So for now, they seem
We're
to
just in
be gone.
recovery mode.
Yeah. So we're still kind of in encounter mode because there's things ticking. There's bad things
Right.
happening.
Right.
So we are going to keep track of turns because this could come down to the wire for some of us.
Yep.
Like, Mert.
Yeah, the guy who's wounded too.
Definitely Mert.
Yeah, I'm looking through here to be like, if there's anything I have that can help you.
You don't have remove acid as a cantrip?
Yeah,
Or-
yeah,
Okay, cool.
yeah. Sorry, I forgot to take that
Yeah,
one.
It's all good.
And like, is there anything around? Well, I guess being ghosts, I can't exactly like pick up a thing of water and not that there's even one
Right.
present.
Yeah, it would take you 10 minutes to do so, at which
Yeah.
point, whatever the
Yeah.
acid's going to do to me will be well over.
There's this scrying pool.
You could just kick them into that pool.
Yeah,
of
that's what I was
guts.
wondering. Like, could I just throw you into?
Wow.
That just
You
kill
can
it
certainly
worse.
try.
Now,
Yeah, let's.
if
Yeah,
there-
because am I close enough to do that?
well, you would have to spend a move action to get up to him.
Okay.
And you would have to basically grab him. And then you would have to, I think, reposition. Or, you could always just delay if you
Yeah, I
can't think
think
of
I'll-
anything right off.
I'll delay because I have some. Depending on what someone else does, I might have something useful. But
Sure.
out of at the moment, other than dunking you in the pool, I don't have anything helpful.
Okay. Yeah, and depending on how bad this gets, we'll see how it goes. I'm just going to let you guys figure it out. So Lara's delaying, so that'll bring us to Lysander.
where is Mert's wound on his body?
Everywhere.
Everywhere. He's just completely covered,
Well,
burning
he's
like
probably got
Two-Face.
multiple, like,
Right.
someone like
Spit
threw
on.
acid at him. Right?
Okay.
And then when he was up next to the nest, if I remember right,
He
one
got,
of the
like-
hatchlings came out and spat directly in
Yeah,
his
like
face.
loogied
yeah,
at him,
he
right?
did.
Right.
Yeah. I'm in this moment. I think I'm just going to look at Mert and look at the pool of viscera and just be like, I think that's your best choice, bud. I think you got to go swim. Like, I know you don't want to. I don't have anything that can help you other than just delaying by continuing to
Yeah.
stave off the trickle. And this probably goes for all three of you. You probably should dive into that gunk of junk.
So,
I planned on it. That's why I said it.
I don't, I'm not running around
It's
with.
the only thing that we have.
Okay, how about this? Can I recall whether there was flour or baking soda or something in the pantry of the kitchen that is upstairs?
Oh. Interesting.
Yeah. Let's see. What's a good
Yeah, could you get some of that old like spicy chili powder and bring it down and
Yeah, that
just rub it into the acid?
yeah, it'll fix you right
so
up.
You
lemon
did
juice.
give them pretty good once over to the pantry.
Yep.
A lot of it was chewed through by the rats.
Yep.
However, I would say there was probably a sack of flour that you could probably get up there. Now, will that sack
Nice.
of flour interact
I
with a ghost?
I don't know.
I don't know.
Not ghost.
You do.
Sure do.
You do. Okay, so Lysander, you're
I
going to
will
run
take all
upstairs?
3 actions and
Okay.
I'll be back.
And your speed is 25?
Yeah, it is not fast.
Okay. You can get pretty close to the stairwell.
Great.
So, okay.
Yeah, your healer has now left the room.
Yeah.
Your healer who has declared that he
What could
can't do
possibly
anything
go
for
wrong?
you.
I mean-
That's going to bring us to Persephone.
Okay. Let's see what I have in my gear. I have a water skin.
Oh,
Here comes the big wave.
stand back.
That's everyone's flesh burning. That's a sound
Got
effect
it.
that.
Yeah, that's the sizzling of the acid.
Right.
Yeah.
Wow, we
Yes.
totally meant to do
For
that.
those of you hearing that for the first time, that's what this
It's still there. Where's it?
coming back.
Is it him?
Oh, gotcha.
Oh, I wonder what that would be picking up.
So weird.
Okay.
Weird.
The laptop's
Well,
right
we
next
are
to
a live show.
That's right.
So sometimes
That's right.
live show things happen. But we figured it out, and onward we go.
Yes.
And hopefully we don't have that sizzling flesh sound
For much
in our
longer.
ears.
Can I use the
That's
water
right.
skin that I probably have?
Ooh.
Okay. Let's see. I'm trying to remember my high school chemistry. Water to acid, or acid to water.
Do as you oughta. Add acid to water.
I tell you what. Okay, so you're being creative, and this is a fantasy world. Are we really going to break down like chemical reactions? I don't know. So
It's gonna probably not do something bad, I would think, right?
Yeah. It's not like she's got like a container of water.
Water's
Or acid.
a
She's
Yeah.
just dumping.
base.
Oh,
Or at
there's a
least,
base?
yeah.
So
Okay. We'll move on.
Or at least in between.
It can be neutral if it is DI
Right.
water. Yeah.
Yeah.
Is your do you have a water skin of DI water?
DI.
Is that on your character sheet?
No, it just says water skin.
maybe it's really mineral-rich well water, and it's really basic.
You nerds.
We did go. We were at a well
See? Yeah.
Sexually
out on the farm,
Yep.
and she doesn't drink water, so she could have filled it up.
This
just
is that
in case.
fancy, 9.5 pH that you buy at the grocery
Oh,
store.
the
That's like
alkaline water that
$7 a
people-
bottle. Yeah.
I think they're
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
I had
cleanse
water
Everyone.
just in case someone needed it, and I was like, "This is my chance now."
that. Okay. You
Wow.
may
Yeah.
grab your water, and you may spend 2 actions to dump said water on it, and
Okay.
that'll be your 3 actions, right? Get it out, and then 2 actions to like
Yep.
wash off the acid. Okay. That I think is the 2 actions that would give you a flat check now at a DC 10.
Okay.
Okay, so roll that. You don't get to add anything to it. It's a flat check.
19.
Okay. All right. So because you did that before the acid ticked, you don't take that additional 1. That flat check immediately kicks in because of your actions, okay?
Okay.
Or your 2-action activity of dousing yourself with alkaline water. Okay. Great job. So that's your turn. Persephone is in the clear, aside from any hit point damage she already had.
Sarah's dice tower continues to impress.
Yeah. I gotta get me one of those. Okay. So now that brings us to Ophelia.
I saw her with the water skin, but I'm still going for the pool.
Okay.
Because I'm
You're
closer
not too
to it.
far, yeah. So it'll take you a move action to just kind of walk over and just kind of start wading into it.
Yeah.
But the acid's like all over your. So you're just gonna
That's fine.
spend an action to lay down in it, or kind of
Yeah,
roll
pretty much.
around, stop, drop,
Yep.
and roll.
Yep. Yep, that's what I'm doing.
I hope
Nasty.
you have prestidigitation.
I don't.
Well, I'm not your roommate, so
Hey, there's enough rooms for all of us. I think.
yeah,
Yeah, there's 4 rooms and then the master bedroom.
yeah, and some crypts, and I'm
Yeah.
sure
Prison
Yeah,
cells
we have plenty.
We have plenty of
throw
rooms.
her in a
Plenty of
cell.
rooms.
and prison cells.
She gets the stinky cell. Okay.
Whatever.
So, you roll. You spend some time basically rolling around in this viscera.
Yes.
I'll give you a flat check 10 for that because it's gross.
Hey, it's not the first time I've been covered in somebody else's blood, and it won't be the last.
It's probably
Okay.
true.
Well, it's not just blood, but okay. I was starting to go in a direction. I was like,
I rolled a 7.
you roll a 7. Okay. So you're going to take 1 point of acid damage.
It still hurts.
Yeah. Okay. Now this is where it's going to get sticky
That's what she said.
because it's Mert's turn. Mert is at. Now remind everyone you're at wounded.
Yep. So in this last combat with the nest, I went down again, which was you were able to, I think, tip the scales or cast harm, one of the two, and got me back up. But that puts me at wounded 2. So if I go down again, that puts me immediately at wounded 3. And if I still have persistent damage when I'm at wounded 3 at the end of my turn, if I fail that flat check, I will go to dying 3 to dying 4 immediately. That's it. So I got to get this thing taken care of before I go back down. Essentially, that's what's got to happen. So,
Yeah, so right now you're sitting on a certain number of hit points, so you have some
Yep.
time. It's not like this one roll is the end all be all for Mert.
right,
But it
yeah.
could be.
Right, but I don't have a lot of health, and if I go down again, it could get very bad in a turn, basically.
Yeah.
So, I'm no longer like in that erratic form that you guys have seen me in, because once I get knocked out and come back to, I'm just normal Mert, right? Great swords laying on the ground next to me, as you know, I'm gonna have to take a moment to get back up and get reoriented, which I think I've done some of that already in the previous turns. But probably had enough time to at least notice Persephone pull out a water skin and douse herself. So I can try to do the same thing. So it's gonna take me a few actions to get in my backpack, dig around, rummage around to find that water skin and pull it out. That's probably just my turn to get to it in my big backpack. So.
Okay, so kind of like, well, you were already standing up, so kind
Right.
of a couple interact actions to, like you said, unsling your backpack,
Yep.
get your water skin.
Yep.
Okay. Do you want to step anywhere, move anywhere for your third, or do an intimidate on?
That's right.
Some,
Stop burning.
some more-
Stop burning.
Yeah, maybe just get away from the nest. So I'll spend my third action just like go down by the cells,
Yeah, you don't know when this is going to pop off again, right?
right? Or if there are more hatchlings ready to come hit me with more acid. Yep.
Sure. It's true. Okay, so it is the end of Mert's turn. You are burned for 1,
Yep.
and then you will flat check 15.
There we go. $18 on the die.
Yeah, I wasn't even worried.
So good.
So the acid has run its course before that 3 minutes. I'm just messing. I wouldn't have gone 3
But if
Not
you don't
for
make
me.
those checks, I mean, it
Yeah.
gets hairy fast.
Real fast.
Yeah.
It could. Yeah, 15 is not it's not easy to get.
Right.
Correct.
Yeah, and we do still have Ophelia burning. So we'll go to the top of the round. Alara is delayed all the way to her round.
Yeah.
So have you thought of something you want to do?
Yeah. Yes.
Okay.
I'm gonna go to the you rolling around in the pool,
Thanks.
and I'm. Of course, this isn't going to work, but I'm gonna try to hand you my soap because I have soap.
Okay. Ghost soap.
Ghost soap.
Yeah. Now in fresh scent.
I'll need that later.
So you go to hand this soap that is incorporeal, and you're rolling around. Make a perception check to see if you even notice her. Like, you've got blood and who knows what else in your face and eyes.
Oh, yeah, I probably did. I rolled a 19.
Oh, nice.
That's a 24.
So yeah,
That's
it's
the
not.
die I should have used.
So maybe as you roll over one time, you see this ghostly figure like leaning over with this bar or something in her hands.
I know what soap is.
Okay. Yeah, but do you know what ghost soap is?
Well, all employees must wash hands before returning to work.
Okay, so we'll have you kind of just, so probably take some time to retrieve it,
Yes.
walk over, and try to hand it off. That'll be
Yes.
your turn, okay? And then it technically will be Lysander. We'll say you've noticed it, but on your turn, we'll see what you do with that information. Lysander's running upstairs.
Yep.
Okay, so we'll say that the rest of the time is up the stairs.
Yep.
And then you're going to have to make your way on the next turn down to the pantry. Because the
Great.
stairwell is on the opposite end of the manor from the pantry. And maybe on the way, Argoon stops. He's like, by the way, I'd like to talk to you real quick if you don't mind. I see you keep the company of a certain number of ghosts.
I don't have time right now. Some of them are actively burning. I will be right back. Just stay right here.
I certainly will.
I'd say give me a hand, but I think you've got that on lock.
I'm going to do a... Oh, you got me. I'm going to do a sweep for the rats while I await your return.
Patrol. He's gonna patrol.
Sure. So there we go. That's Lysander's turn.
It's gonna sweep.
Which brings us to Persephone, who is now safe, maybe a little hurt.
Yeah. I think I used most of my water on me, so I don't think I can.
Probably, yeah. It's hard to kind of control when you're just dousing yourself
Yeah,
in a
I'm
water
just
skin.
like trying to get, and so I'm soaking wet, and I'm like, I look over and I'm like, I can't do anything else. So I'm just gonna move away from the nest.
Okay.
Solid
Probably
strategy.
smart, yeah.
Closer to, yep, that's good, and that'll be my turn.
Okay. All right. As you're moving away from the nest and you're kind of maybe giving it one last glance to check to see if any of these hatchlings are kind of forming again on the nest, you do notice on the wall, one of those skulls has a little tiny hand sticking out of the jaws. All right. Ophelia in the guts.
Flat check. Oh,
Well, that'll happen at the end of your turn, so you'll take your actions
rolling.
first.
that's it. I'm rolling.
Just rolling around.
I'm trying to
You're
get
not
the
trying to
gunk
grab
off.
the soap?
I can't even touch her. I can't touch her soap.
That is true. Okay, so maybe an action to, maybe you're smart enough to know. I'm not
Yeah.
even going to try. Okay, so you spend a couple actions to roll around.
Yes.
Go ahead and give me your flat check 10.
Do you need a hero point in this?
God, I hope not. I rolled a 14.
There you go.
14, flat check
That's
10.
it.
Yeah.
Flat check 10.
Okay, so yes.
Yeah,
All right.
okay.
Sorry, I was
You made us
just
all
thinking
nervous for
15.
Dang, I thought you rolled like a
as soon as
3.
you
Keep us in
laughing, I was
suspense, I
like,
guess.
I was
Alright.
still thinking 15.
No, you're
Okay,
good.
okay.
All right.
Yeah,
Sorry.
it is a, I don't know, confused. It's complex, right? Because it ticks, then you roll, or you can roll before it ticks if you do stuff and the roll is different. So it is,
Yeah.
it's a lot of moving parts. So hopefully our actually helped clarify it for us.
Yep.
And for those that are watching out there, because that's why we do actually. But
You know what persistent damage is? Persistent damage is a pain. Either way.
Quite literally,
yeah,
yeah.
literally, yeah. Yeah.
So, pick up all the spells that have persistent damage, and
It's duly noted.
Yeah, 'cause,
A lot of mine do,
I
actually.
know they do.
Jeez.
it is. It can be very difficult to like even. You would think that okay, coming from other iterations of the game, like I'm taking bleed damage, no problem. I'll just channel energy, done.
Yep.
Okay.
Right.
Now you
Yeah.
got to get hit healed to full.
Yeah.
Right. I think there's maybe. Is there a use? is there use of the medicine skill maybe to stop
Yep.
bleeding? But it's a very specific first aid
Yeah,
application.
treat,
and it takes-
administer first aid.
Yeah, and
which
it
you have
takes
to have
like
a
10
you have to have a healer's kit in your hands.
Yep.
So you have to like spend the action to have the healer's kit, and then you
Right.
have to spend the 2 actions to administer the thing so that they can have the flat check of 10. So
Oh,
yeah,
wow.
Sure. Yeah, and if you're to
And that's if you're
do it
near them.
yourself, a lot
Yeah.
of the stuff is like you said, like that kind of downtime, 10-minute. If you can't do that when you're taking it,
Yeah.
it's gonna run its course. So.
Yeah.
Well, in other iterations.
yeah. And where's your Ghost Touch healer's kit, right?
Come out soon, please, Liza. Give it to us. I need
For
one.
sure.
So
Oh, man,
from the
we need a
looks of
cleric.
my tracker, everyone has stopped burning.
Hallelujah.
Mert's very badly hurt. Ophelia's covered in stuff,
Viscera.
and Lysander's up in the pantry. And
What can I
we
say?
could drop out of encounter mode now and kind of go back into exploration mode.
Okay.
And talk about maybe a little bit more exploration mode-y kind of talk about what we're doing.
So I might go back over to the nest and look at that hand that's coming out of the skull.
Okay, so yeah, it's actually, so where the pile of bones is where the nest was,
Nice.
there is a wall opposite that. And kind of on the wall, one of those skulls, you just happen to notice that little hand sticking out of the jaws, which you know is weird
Yeah.
in and of itself, but you also know that you found a drawing specifically of that.
So I'm gonna try to interact with it. I have no idea what I'm doing. I'm just maybe pulling the hand,
Gonna shake it.
shake the hand.
Pull its
yeah.
finger.
I don't know.
Okay,
I'm just messing with it, seeing if I can open something.
okay. So you spend some time fiddling with this, and if you push it down like a little lever in the mouth, just the palm of the hand, it's kind of sticking up like this. You just push it down, and this panel clicks open in the wall next to it, revealing a hallway, a very narrow, maybe 5-foot wide hallway, lined with skulls.
Okay. I relay this information to the rest of the party. I'm like, hey guys, I found the secret passage.
Okay. So, you guys are relatively close by. You're still,
Sure.
maybe you have to get the guts out of your ears to pick that up.
I was working on it.
Okay. But Lysander's still upstairs with Flower.
Yeah, we might wait until he gets back
Yeah.
down.
I'm sure after a while of you looking around and poking around, you've made your way back downstairs with a half gnawed on sack of flour that's leaving a little trail
Yeah.
of flour as you run down the stairs.
I'm running feverishly, and when I I come around the corner and I just I'm running, and I see Ophelia standing there covered in the viscera, and I'm like, ha! And I
Oh, okay.
Is that a- It's like a tar and feather.
I was thinking that all we need is
variation.
feathers, and we're good.
Yeah. I don't know. It sounds like some kind of a die roll, but I don't know.
sure, you want me to roll it? What do you want?
Yeah, just give me like a range,
Flat roll, some kind of roll,
ranged
whatever.
attack.
Sure,
or
ranged
something.
attack. You got it.
Yeah,
You got it.
I don't know.
Yeah, me either. Roll low. I mean, have you seen my stats for Royo? I rolled a 19.
Critical flower hit.
In your moment of panic, you douse
That's like a
Ophelia.
that's like a 21.
Yeah. So you're now covered in guts and this flour. But interestingly enough, like as you have climbed your way out, and Lysander's come and thrown this stuff on you, as you're like, oh, you know, whatever you say to him, you're looking down like at your feet, like, oh, now how am I going to get this off? And you notice that some of this stuff is actually moving its way off of your body and back down into the pool.
I'm standing there over the pool going,
Yeah.
Yeah, but now you're covered in flour too.
Did it work? Did it work?
I was already fine.
Oh,
I went for the pool.
I wasn't sure if it was actually going to work. I just knew that was the closest thing you could jump in that would potentially help.
It did.
Well, great.
I
Sorry.
walk around the corner soaking wet.
Sorry about that.
I use water to douse myself, so I'm
Oh.
soaking wet.
Okay, well,
You don't have prestidigitation, do you?
no.
Nope. But I found the secret passage.
Excellent.
Kind of slowly walk up to the party with my greatsword now and my, scabbard or, baldric, or whatever you want to call it, that hangs on my back. Just kind of like leaned over from the weight of, my sword and my pack, and just found what?
We found the secret passage. You know those skulls that had in the cells that you could look into? Okay.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, I found the passage behind the wall. It was, so after we got rid of the nest, there was a skull with a hand in its mouth, and I just pushed it, and it opened up the wall.
Oh. We're gonna check that out now?
I was
We
saying,
probably shouldn't in your condition.
Great.
Let's
Like my
figure
thumb
out.
goes up and like the ectoplasmic form is like dripping off my arm.
Maybe we should rest for the go back upstairs, get cleaned up, rest.
I love it.
That sounds like an excellent idea. I definitely need to lie down for a bit.
That's a great idea, Mert.
should we maybe close the passage back
Yeah,
before
I'm
we
gonna
go
try
up?
to close the passage.
Okay, so the little skull mechanism is the trigger to open it. So you'll have to actually like kind of grab a hold of the panel and kind of pull it closed, which is easy to do because it's made of like bone mostly.
Okay.
So you could probably get a grip on it and just kind of pull it shut for now. And when you do so, that little hand just kind of clicks back up into position in the skull. And yeah, just a casual look, it just looks like another one of the skulls that's blending into the wall here. Just this one happens to have that tiny little hand.
We're learning everything about our little house.
I know.
Yeah. Alrighty. So let's head upstairs and try to get some rest. Maybe clean up.
Clean up.
We might have to figure out water.
Yeah, isn't the water closet like? Well, I guess it can't
Disgusting.
get any grosser.
It can't get
Whatever
any
you're gonna try to
grosser,
clean up
so-
in there.
Oh, technically, it looks like I'm cleaning up flour.
That's fair.
Nasty, stale flour. Because the rest of the goop is kind of already
Sure,
sloshed
working
off
its
and
way back.
into its
Yeah.
own pit.
Yeah, there's probably some residue on you, some moist kind of
Gross.
gunk, but most of the chunky parts
The
have
chunky
made their way
Nice.
back into the pool. But so yeah, you
Sorry,
still have
like
this
I
kind of
said.
weird when you do like the baking soda paste, you kind of have
Ew.
that on you now. It's like caking up every time you like bend your elbows. It's like caking up in the elbows.
I was picturing like cornstarch, like a oobleck or non-Newtonian.
So you're still gross, is what we're saying.
But you can run
Understood.
across the top of the scrying pit now.
I think we're gonna go back upstairs now.
Yep.
I'm
Okay.
almost tempted to get back in the scrying pool to get the flour off and see if it would go back in.
Please don't. Please. Oh.
Huh.
Well, if I get the flour off and then the goop goes back into the pit.
I mean, you're not wrong. However,
So
that doesn't make you right.
as you make your way back upstairs, still discussing how to clean yourselves up and rest for the night and heal, try to get back to your, full capabilities before continuing on. Argoon comes skittering up to you. Did you find a dispatch of the corpse?
A couple.
What do you mean? There was only one in the secret passage, according to what I overheard from Kalak.
I don't think we've gone into the secret passage yet. We have located it. Unfortunately, we need to regather ourselves and make sure we're in the condition to continue.
Oh, this is what my soldiers would have carried on.
And where are they?
They're, they were the Northern armies, you see. And,
Were. Right? Were.
I know that they may still be there. I think I hear a rat. Skittles off. And as he leaves, I grow bastard.
So, okay.
Yes. I definitely go straight to one of those little bunk rooms and go have a lie down.
Have a lie down.
Okay, yeah, it's still pretty dusty in there, but yeah.
He's a ghost.
Yeah, probably won't bother you much. Anybody else have any other plans that they need to?
I just kind of like walk with everyone as we like exit out the door and then out the main room. Then as soon as everyone gets out of that main room, I just shut the main, the master bedroom door and just go to the bed.
Okay, so you just kind of low key claim the
100% low key claim the master bedroom.
Okay.
I'm gonna go fiddle with the water closet.
Okay.
Try to get water, actual water.
Ooh.
Not sure if there's actual running water in here. You would think
I don't know.
that there's
Depends.
some form of primitive plumbing system.
Some kind of water collection on the roof, or who knows?
Yeah, something to, because otherwise, yeah, there's no well that you found on the property. And the only water you've seen is that stagnant pool outside with the algae and et cetera.
It's
on
not
there.
gonna be any
Probably don't want to bathe in that.
That'd be bad news.
Yeah, it might be worse than the guts, honestly.
Maybe worse than the burning.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, we'll say that you can spend some. Do you have crafting?
Oh Jesus.
I'm not trained in it, but I have like +4.
Let's see. Skills at next level.
Yeah. He's gonna keep asking us until one of us takes crafting.
Yeah, you can spend some time in there and kind of clean out some of the nastiness and maybe get the little hand pump going to pull some water from whatever reservoir this home has there.
I can intimidate it.
Sure, yeah.
That's true. That kind of comes along with crafting, though. Is, kind of intimidating whatever you're working on into submission.
Percussive maidens.
Yeah, exactly.
Give it a good plumber bang. Okay, yeah.
I'm fiddling with it until I get it to work. Even if I have to go outside and find a pump to,
Okay, fair enough.
the pump. Oh, fucking,
Yeah.
you know what I mean.
I do. And we'll say after, 20, 30 minutes of working and frustration settling in, you finally get a trickle of tepid water coming into the wash basin. Fair enough. Yeah.
Yep.
Stay tuned next time for more riveting how we wash ourselves.
Because we forgot to take prestidigitation.
Yeah.
There was no forgetting.
Really don't want to get into super.
Yeah.
That's fine.
Yeah,
Sure.
that's what I'm
You're
doing.
You're good.
Fucking with it until it works.
Sounds like a plan. Get it working. Okay.
Even if I have to beat it up.
So nobody else has anything specific they want to do before they retire for the night and get ready to, or retire for the day maybe. Technically, it was fairly early in the night when you got about doing this stuff. So you probably have several hours of darkness left, but you don't really have to worry about it so much because you're indoors. Mm-hmm. You're in a building that's completely closed off from any sunlight. Even if it was broad daylight outside, the red stone at the top of the building is filtering out the light, creating this kind of red filtered nuance in the house. So you can go about your business during the day. So we could, if you guys don't have anything specific you want to do, we could just fast forward 8 hours.
Sure.
Have everybody get 8 hours of rest, do their prep. That'll put us on a day cycle now, but that may not matter so much. It's up to you. Or do you want to take the extra time to sleep the night and the day?
How about we do the 8 hours and we see how Mert feels, and then go from there.
Sure. So after a few hours of basically just fading out, you barely can tell my frame is there on the bed when I'm kind of resting. I can come to and come out to the hall and check on other people. But I'm not looking a lot better than I was before. But I don't think that just resting for more and more time is going to fix me all of a sudden. I'll probably need some help from Lysander to kind of get straightened out.
Right, and I think for Lysander to get to that point where he can, he's going to need 8 hours.
Yep.
That's correct.
Okay. Mm-hmm. So we can fast forward 8 hours, and everybody's up and about and feeling out what they're going to do for the rest of this time. And those of you that rely on being able to prepare your spells and things again, so you can go ahead and do that.
Okay.
And you can tell by the light filtering through the red crystal as you come out of your various bed chambers that it is daylight outside. What time it is, who
Sure.
knows? Does it matter? Probably not. because you're in here and you know you have not a whole lot left of the home to explore probably. So what do you do?
All right. I quickly survey kind of my allies here. Who is still injured? Obviously, Mert is still hurt. Ophelia, are you hurt? Yeah, and then
It changed
little
a tiny
bit.
bit.
I just grab everybody into the big communal area there in the middle,
Sure.
and I'm gonna do a 3-action harm, and kind of burst heal everybody.
Okay. And that should, Alara did, it may not have carried over onto your sheet there,
Oh, okay.
Bess, but you did take, I think, 4 points of damage
Oh,
from,
okay.
from the acid spray
I would have
from the nest, because it got everybody, like nobody got out of it. But this 3-action harm will take care of that for you, so no worries.
Everyone will heal 7
Okay.
Yay.
as this wave of necromantic energy kind of pulses out from his feet and goes boom, and fills this area, and you just feel your wounds kind of stitching back together unnaturally. You still look bad.
Mert looks more stable than he did for sure.
Great.
But
I think for Mert, I'm gonna invite Mert into the master bedroom, and I'm gonna essentially just nudge the scales until he is back to where he belongs.
okay. I think you do that once, and I think I'll be in good shape.
So I'll reach out, my gloved hand there, and kind of that tremor shakes, and all of that muscle mass and stuff just like dissolves off his arm, and you'll heal for 4.
Great. Yeah, I'm in good shape.
Okay.
Mert was definitely like almost like sorry for putting through that, right? Like he doesn't really understand your powers, but you kind of walk in and like, come over here, I'll do this for you, and watching that happen again and again and again to you, just be like, I'm so sorry, thank you. How do you keep doing this? Does it hurt?
Of course it hurts. Every time.
God, I'm sorry.
It's okay.
Thank you.
It's my job to keep you here. You're a waste if you're anywhere else.
I suppose that makes sense. Either way, I'm in your debt for it. Thank you.
Debts are not so easily cleansed in this place. I would be careful lodging that around, as a man of your profession should know.
Yes, I know a lot about debt, unfortunately.
Well, I'll do what I can to keep you around.
Thank you,
Just
sir.
don't let it get above your head.
Okay. I'll try not to call on you as often as I have been.
So, we do want to probably discuss, we do need to get, after we do the tunnel downstairs, we probably need to get some supplies, like a healer's kit, just because
Or
you're
two.
really good at healing. But we probably need some extra help, especially for the ghost.
Yeah, Mert understands some of the basics of kind of first aid and medicine, but starting out going to a farm and stuff, he didn't really expect to need those types of things, right? So we can eventually stock up and he can get some of that extra equipment to start patching himself up. But he's only going to be able to patch up himself and Alara.
So,
2 kits.
we'll have to
Probably.
get 2 kits, and I'm not great with medicine.
That makes sense.
Lysander? Yes, no, on the medicine?
I am my own medicine.
Huh?
Right.
I don't know why you would lean on the natural when you have the supernatural sustaining you, but whatever you'd like.
Well, if if none of us corporeal folks know how to use medicine, then I guess it really doesn't matter if we get one for us.
It's not that I don't know how to do it. My family dabbled in it a bit. I have the basics, but I don't see the need.
Well, I wish you'd choose to do it in a way that doesn't harm you so, but if that's how your God has called you to operate, then I suppose I shouldn't judge.
Not all power is pleasant, Mert.
True. I'm
Yeah.
well aware. Well, suppose we should go to the basement now.
Yeah, let's go to the
Most
basement.
powers are given.
Do-do-do-do-do.
The whole time Argoon's just been kind of like walking around around your feet, like, are you gonna go or what are we doing here?
I think I'm gonna learn prestidigitation soon. It seems to have a manner to clean.
You've been awake for 15 minutes.
Yeah.
What the heck?
My soldiers would have been
still
on the
here?
front by now. So you make your way back downstairs.
Back downstairs.
Back down. It takes you, a second to like pinpoint that skull again. But once you know where it is, you can locate it. And it opens up on this long hallway that's lined in skulls, and you can see that periodically some of those skulls have holes drilled in the back of them, so they can peephole into the cells that you know are beyond. And
Where's the corpse?
it's dark.
We can see. I can see.
I can see.
Sure, some of you can, yeah.
Yeah. So, is there a corpse
There does
anywhere?
not appear to be a
Thank you,
corpse
sir.
anywhere
You're
down
welcome.
this hall.
Okay.
Let the people with dark vision go first.
It's about a 60-foot long hall that ends in a wall of skulls.
Ooh.
Ooh, skulls.
What's the ground made of? Is it
Stone.
stone? Okay.
All right. I probably should go first because,
Yes.
yeah.
Okay.
I'll be right behind her.
You will be right behind her?
Yep.
Okay. Who's going after that?
I'll lead on.
I'll go behind Mert.
Yep.
I guess Alar's going last.
Okay. For those of you who can't see in the dark, what do you do? What do you do about that?
I gave Mert my light.
Oh, you did?
Oh,
Okay.
yeah.
All right. So this faintly glowing candlelight is illuminating the hall behind those that see in the dark. And you walk down this 60-foot long hall just lined with skulls and get to a wall of skulls. What do you do there?
Look for another skull with a hand in it.
Okay. Now that you know what you're looking for, it's actually a little bit easier to find because there is a second one. This time it's on the opposite kind of side of the wall, or if one was like to the right of this panel, this one's kind of to the left of the panel. You click it open, and this panel slides open onto a very large chamber. Probably one of the biggest rooms in here that you've seen so far, aside from the courtyard. And I'll reveal it here in a second and describe to you
That's all
what
right.
this room looks like, because we're about to have a little fun.
Oh. Your idea of fun is
I'm so glad you're right behind me.
Mert's idea of going unconscious.
Well, just to get better.
That is the plan. Eventually, I just got to keep surviving.
And it's not a competitive game, right? I say that every time.
But are you telling that to you or
I
telling
think
that
it's.
to us?
I'm just trying to convince myself.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so we said Persephone was in the lead.
Yep.
We had Ophelia right behind. Mert was
Mert.
coming with his candle. Then we had the weirdo guy, Lysander. And
Yeah, that guy.
We had,
That guy.
he's a little weird.
Just a little.
Yeah, it's pretty disturbing for Mert. Like,
Yeah. He's not built from your Saturday morning cartoons, that's for sure.
no.
That's yeah. Wow. Okay, so when you open up this chamber and your light kind of starts illuminating it, because there is there's no light. Skulls and other bones comprise every inch of the wall and ceiling of this room. The floor is completely smooth stone. A stone altar piled with skulls, many of which still have bits of flesh clinging to them, stands against the eastern wall. So that's the farthest wall from you, basically. There is a robed corpse on the floor at the base of the altar. Its skull seems to have burst open. Skull fragments litter the floor around it, and this now kind of brown-black stain around like the head, or what used to be the head of this thing.
Oh,
Sorry.
wow.
And as you're I don't know, you're coming into the room? What are you doing?
Yeah, I'm coming into
Okay,
the room.
so slowly coming in the room.
Slowly.
As you come around and start
Slowly I
examining
turn.
what's happening here, you can make out more of this altar
That's
at the eastern
perfect.
You notice that there is.
front.
Yep.
You notice that there's actually something else in here.
Oh, okay.
What?
So, flitting up from behind the corpse, like near the altar, you see this tiny creature fluttering on gossamer wings,
Oh.
diaphanous insectile wings, a pale blue skinned form with what you can make out to be a skull on top of their head. And you can just make out the side of them as they kind of flitter into view holding one of the skulls.
Ugh.
I told you to get ready for visitors. Don't tell me what to do. This is my empire, and I am the emperor of the realm of skulls. Who, what, huh?
Skulls by the skull throat.
Oh no.
Who are you? And what are you doing in my empire of skulls? And it starts flying towards you as it drops the skull to the floor, as it clatters to the ground. Let's roll for initiative.
Oh my goodness.
I want to know what it is.
All right.
Okay, let me
But not anytime soon, apparently.
take a look at the old. Oh boy.
Every time. Oh boy.
Oh boy.
Well, this is
Pretty good. Oh no.
okay. Let me erase your old initiatives because we don't have those anymore. Okay. Ilara, what'd you get?
8.
8. Okay.
It's not a lot.
Lysander.
19.
19. Persephone.
23.
All right.
Okay, that's good. Ophelia.
10.
10. All right. And finally, Mercury.
23 as well, and I will defer to Persephone since she went in first.
Great. So, Persephone, you will be going first as you see this thing. I'll put it on the map here. And we'll see if there's this tiny little creature. And he's in the overlay. If you're watching the Twitch, he's in the bottom right overlay. Kind of that's exactly what you see.
Goodness.
Flapping towards you on these gossamer wings. What do you do, Persephone?
I'm gonna spend one action trying to see if it would, if it's going to, well, you know what, I'm just gonna hit it. I was gonna try to talk to it, trying to figure out what it's doing here, what its purpose, and I was like, you know what, no.
What's your problem, man?
This is my empire of skulls.
I'm just gonna use my scythe and try to hit it.
Oh no. Okay, so you're gonna have to move up to it.
Yep.
And your speed is what?
25.
Okay. Yeah, you can get up right to it. There is a dead body here, so we'll put you there.
Alright. Alright.
So stride up, swing with the side.
18.
18 is a miss.
Ooh.
What?
Okay.
You do have one action left.
Run away.
How dare you!
I'm gonna try to hit again. I know there's a penalty, but I'm gonna try.
Sure.
Good enough.
So, wait. That's 17. So, nope.
17 is also a miss. Okay. You dare encroach in my empire, Mert.
I'm not gonna shift into that erratic form I usually do. Kind of take a moment because he didn't seem to like lunge at me, at least initially, and see if I can figure out like what kind of roll to know what this thing is.
Okay.
Yes. Very good.
That's what I would like to do.
Okay. How about planes?
Oh, okay. Nope.
That's a lore skill, correct?
Yeah, shoot, I'm thinking, no, planes. Yeah. I'll take Arcana, actually.
An Arcana roll? Okay.
Yeah.
Listen, the only plane
Usually
I
that's in
have
the
knowledge in is the shadow plane.
Sure. I'm not trained in Arcana. Can I make a roll to recall knowledge?
You can recall a knowledge.
Untrained. Okay.
It's just
So I was thinking. So we'll give it a go. That is a 14.
you're not
No
sure
idea what this thing is.
No.
So I guess just briefly share like I've never seen anything like this before, and then I'll move up.
Yeah, not even the skill knowledge planes would help you here. I gotta get everything on second edition so I can stop this.
Oh, I hear you.
Actually,
I'm gonna have to scoot up. I'll scoot up to that back wall, and kind of get within range. I got 25 feet of speed as well, so if I can get there. No, towards it, like basically on the other side of Persephone. If I can get there. And then my third action, I will start to shift into that erratic form, and start preparing.
Lysander.
great. I'm going to. This is terrible. I'm gonna take 25 feet of movement. I'm gonna move up right behind Mert.
Okay.
Great. I'm going to 2 actions. Touch spell. I'm going to cast Runic Weapon on Mert.
Got it.
Okay. So what does that look like?
So he reaches out and he places his hand on Mert's back, and this green, nasty energy that's in his eyes, that kind of like green glowing eyes, that vanishes. So now all you see is just these dark black sockets where his eyes are, and that energy runs down his arm into the back of Mert, and then these runes etch in the blade of Mert's weapon. And not like, mastercraftily etched. It's like fingernails clawed into the weapon from like a ghoul or a zombie or something, kind of rugged, ripped into the blade.
Right, like scrawled.
Yep.
Ugh. Okay.
Very cool.
And that's me.
It's very cool. So this creature looks intently at Persephone. Yes, you look like you have a very pretty skull under all that flesh. And it grabs for your eye sockets.
Whoa.
Does a 27 hit?
That's a crit.
Oh, no. Okay.
Here we go, boys. Buckle up.
Yeah, no kidding.
Okay.
Pretty little eyeballs all on the fingernails.
Yuck.
Okay. Thank you, Angela, for these dice. They're killing all the characters. No, I'm kidding.
No, you're
it's not a competitive game.
It's not a competitive game.
Oh, man. Okay. This is 22 points of
Oh
damage.
my goodness.
Boom.
As its tiny hands like just punch right into your eye sockets.
I'm out.
Okay.
Oh,
So you are now the dying one, right?
Yep.
Well, actually, it's from a critical hit, so you're technically dying 2.
Okay.
So I'm going to slide that little marker to the dying 2 column as things just got real.
Just now.
Okay. Oh my gosh. I really didn't think this was going to happen. But it just did. Because this creature really, really wants your skull. And to do that, he's going to have to try and do a little move called Terminal Tug.
Excuse me?
Sounds gross. And it is.
sorry.
It's 2 actions, which it has. This creature will attempt to rip the head off of a dying creature.
No.
So I better start making a new character.
Don't forget your skull bone. Just saying.
You have to attempt a fortitude save.
Okay.
If you fail, your head pops off and you die. I really hate to do this,
I know.
but it's the design of the creature.
I know.
So don't hate me.
You also got your skull bone, so
Yep.
You still have your score.
You do.
Okay.
I have a DC in mind. Go ahead and roll that fortitude save.
This game is so deadly. That's crazy.
Oh! So confuddled that you just threw a dice on the floor.
Yep.
Just get scared. Scary roll.
You don't want that roll, whatever is
Blood
on.
pressure's going up. You can't do that.
All
All right, here we go.
right. Straight 12.
Okay.
Was that her save or just the die
Oh,
roll?
that's just the die roll. So
Oh,
it'd
so
be
it's a fortitude save.
so plus 7. So that'd be 19.
Okay. Would you like to turn in your skull bond?
Yeah.
But you gotta take the second one, even if it's worse.
I know.
Unfortunately.
18 plus 7.
Equals
15? No, 25.
25. So this little creature rides your body down to the floor as you collapse in front of this altar made of skulls and wrenches your head. Your neck starts popping from the strain of it. And it, give me your skull! And you're okay for now.
You're okay for now.
Okay.
This is horrible.
And you're okay for now.
Oh my goodness.
Oh,
Oh my.
Oh no, oh no.
Ophelia.
First of all, I want to know what the is this thing?
Sure, I'll take an Arcana.
Okay, let's see.
Or Knowledge Planes if you're playing first edition. Okay.
Like I said, I have Shadow Plane, but that's it.
You have lore? The lore Shadow Plane or just the language?
Lore Shadow Plane. But
I'll take a lore Shadow Plane.
Oh, interesting.
probably not with a 15.
It's a specific lore, so it's a much easier DC.
Yep.
Okay.
So you actually know that this is something called a skull fairy.
Okay.
So skull fairies are malicious beings that are spawned when certain individuals dabble too much in shadow magic.
Oh.
They become infused with shadow energy. And if they are to die after being exposed to malignant energies from the shadow plane, this creature can spawn from their skull.
Okay.
The first thing they do is they take their skull cap and put it on like a helmet, and they immediately start looking for more skulls. They technically aren't fey creatures, but their resemblance to fairies have given them the moniker Skull Fairy.
Huh.
So it's a living creature, basically.
Oh yeah.
Okie dokie.
Am I within 30 feet?
It
Okay, what-
has ridden Persephone to the ground.
Yeah, technically it would be in her space because it is a tiny creature, so technically it is on Persephone Square. I just won't pile up the minis.
Yeah, that's
'cause,
fair.
You know, I don't wanna-
Okay, I think I'll
Bad for the camera.
change that.
And
I
paint.
think I'll change what I was going to do.
You don't want to potentially blast Persephone's corpse, is what you're saying?
Yeah, potentially. Okay,
I'm sorry, I don't mean to be...
Yeah, he does. Yeah, he does.
so, little buddy,
Little buddy.
What do you want? This is my empire!
How
did you get
am I
here?
within 30 feet of him?
Yes.
Okay, I'm casting Torturous Trauma. He must make a basic fortitude save.
I don't want to!
You
Too
can't
bad!
make me.
I can!
A basic fortitude save. Okay. Here we go.
Because it's a living creature, I am battering the creature's internal organs,
No!
leaving no external signs of the immense pain that I am delivering at this point.
You horrible creature! How does a 24 sound for the fortitude save?
Ooh.
So I'm going to take half.
Suck!
It's not a critical success, so I'll take half.
Which is not much. My spell. What is it? Spell casting modifier is. Oh shit.
It's probably your intelligence, right? It's a 4.
Yeah, so 5. So he takes 2 damage.
How dare you! Okay. So that was 2 actions to do that?
It was. That's all in my actions. Recall knowledge and.
Oh, that's right. You did recall knowledge. I'm sorry.
Yep.
Sure. I'm still sweating from the near death we had. Okay,
It's not over yet.
it is not.
It is not.
It's not. Certainly
Alara.
not.
How close am I? Am I within 30 feet?
Of the creature,
Yes.
yeah, since it's technically like still
There. Okay.
on Persephone's skull, you are currently within 30.
Okay. Alara's gonna cast Biting Words. Let's see.
I love and hate this
I
spell so much.
love this so much.
Oh, okay. Okay, lovely. 10 for the spell attack.
So it doesn't. Your words don't hit me.
Yeah.
So
So what do you say?
Yeah.
My friend Jerry has twice as many skulls as you do.
Oh.
Fuck Jerry. I'll take his skull and then his empire as soon as I'm done with you.
Fuck Jerry.
But whatever you say,
Oh boy.
I'm rubber, you're glue. I don't know, whatever. I've lived here my entire life. I don't know your silly sayings. Okay, so that's 2 actions.
Yeah. Then I'm going to cast Courageous Anthem for the group.
Okay.
Should affect all of us, but that's the everyone gains +1 status bonus to attack, damage, and saves against fear.
Okay.
Okay.
So it's really weird that your words have to make an attack roll. Like, I don't know. It's like I read that spell so many times. I'm like, you say something awful to me and then attack me.
Yeah.
Whatever. Maybe you're attacking my mind.
Sticks and stones.
Yep.
I don't know what you're talking about. No one says such things in my Empire Skulls. It's just me and my wife.
She's seen better days.
You're telling me.
It's one of those classic cases where you just wake up one day and everything's different.
Moving on. We're back to the top of the round. It's round 2. Persephone, you're currently dying 2, so you'll have to make a flat check with a DC of
10 plus dying?
10 plus 2. Yeah, so 12.
Doesn't she move initiative to right before the
Oh
creature?
my goodness, you're right.
I'd hate for you to have to repeat an actually.
No, thank you for keeping me honest on that. We'll move that. It's technically Mert's turn then.
Okay.
Hold on to that roll. If you, well, I don't think you made it yet, but Mert.
Nope, I haven't made it yet.
Unfortunately, I don't think there's anything I can do for Persephone because I can't physically interact, and
You certainly can kill that.
I don't have any means of healing her. So the best thing to do is, try to end this thing as quickly as possible.
Agreed.
Yes, kill the thing
So I'm
trying
gonna
to
try
rip
to
her
hit
head
it
off.
really, really hard.
The best thing for you to do is leave me her skull and flee my empire.
Leave her alone.
So you get a +1 from the runic weapon to hit, and it does stack with the bard because hers is a
Right.
status bonus. Mine is an item bonus.
Yeah, I was gonna say it treats it as if it's
Yep.
that weapon. Yep, that makes perfect
So-
sense. Okay, so that being said, how about a 27 to hit him?
27's a hit.
Okay. And I get to roll more dice.
Bring the pay.
Yay! More dice.
Yep, I got
Yeah,
some
because it makes it a
D12s.
+1 striking weapon.
Sure does.
Did you guys practice that?
Yes.
Stop. They already think you're twins. Mirrored images.
That's why we couldn't sit at the same table.
That's right.
It'd be
It's
terrible.
Confusing people. Like, don't adjust your vertical settings. What you're seeing is real.
About 22 points of damage.
22 points of damage.
Ooh,
Blam!
Ow! You
bam.
ghostly bastard.
A lot of people in this
Okay.
manor got
He's
things
allowed
against
to
ghosts,
talk.
man. What the heck?
Is it things in the manor or is it the
It's still very much alive,
That's fine.
as it's still got its tiny little hands trying to reach under Persephone's eyelids to grab a hold of her orbits and
Yep.
yank that skull free.
Yep.
Okay. Then I will take another swing,
Okay?
Let's go.
and I think I'll cash in my skullbow. To roll for advantage. That's cool with you? Or should I roll the first and then roll the second?
Yeah, roll first and then
Okay.
use the skull bone if you need to change it.
Great. Sounds good. 15 on the die, so I think that puts me in pretty good shape. So I'm going to keep that. I won't use my skull bone. That puts me at 19?
19 hits.
Yes.
That's close margin, though, because you were missing it. 17?
18, actually.
Yeah,
Okay, well, we found it.
we found the number.
Stop doing that. That's cheating.
No metagaming in this.
It's called info.
You guys are smart.
Oh, this is a sad dice. 12 points of damage.
Ow!
That's still like 34 points of damage you've done to this thing.
Yep.
It is a lot of damage.
That's a lot of
But it's
damage.
still alive.
It is. Still alive.
I have one more action. I guess I will
Somebody said punt it.
punt it.
Punt it.
You know, unarmed strikes do have the agile trait, so they're thinking. They're thinking. I think I'm actually just going to try to grab it, to try to pull it off of your head. I'll take Matt for that. So
Yes, you do. It is an attack
yep.
trait, so it'll be the
So
minus
it
10.
might be kind of slim, but I'm going to try to just stop it from doing whatever's doing to you.
Okay, I have my fort DC in mind.
Okay. So, it's horrible. It's absolutely horrible. About I'm basically a -1.
That's close.
Now, let me just check the numbers.
Okay.
Throw your skull bone
Rub it in, why don't you?
So it just kind of flitters its little insectile wings and jerks out of the way as you try to grab for it. Okay, that brings us to Lysander.
Great. Yeah, I love everything about this.
You invited my home. I didn't invite you here.
Yes. Shut up.
How
How did you even get here?
when I recalled knowledge, if I could have said it to them,
yeah.
I would have.
Yeah, you can.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm going to take 2 actions, and I'm going to cast Void Warp.
I don't like that.
So it needs a basic Fortitude save.
Okay. That's a skull and the die.
Is that a
Natural
20?
20.
What is that?
That's
Okay.
a natural.
Thank you, I'm gonna make you re-roll.
Oh, you. That is a fair use of the skull bone. I will roll this dice. One more time.
Make it 1.
I mean, it is what it is.
How about an 11?
Total.
It has a 1 in it.
Total.
Great. So 11 total. My DC is 17.
Sounds like a fail.
It sure does. So Void Warp. I will do 2d4 void damage to this thing, and it is not a critical failure. So, luckily for him. Takes 7 points of void damage.
Okay.
I will, so I pull that glove off my hand, and you see he kind of like takes his hand, kind of in that same motion that he would do nudge the scales, and all of that meat and chunk and you know stuff from his arm kind of just starts to slough off, but then it kind of turns into a ghostly kind of energy, and it shoots in this giant, like almost like a spray out of his hand.
Ugh.
And hits this winged shadow fairy in the face and does 7 points of damage. But as the effect takes place, the meat and tendrils and stuff on my arm does not come back, and I'm curse-bound 1.
Oh.
Okay.
Hey, oracles.
A little creepy.
Doing some freaky stuff over there, for sure.
Oracles are neat.
Very, very cool. Very, very cool class.
Okay. Now that brings us to Persephone's turn. Just before the creature that nearly did her in.
Don't die.
Now you make your check, your recovery check.
Okay. 10.
Okay, so you now go to dying 3.
Okay.
It's really bad.
Very, very bad. And it's the creature's turn. However, I got more pressing matters to face.
Sure.
Now that I've been
Accosted.
very badly hurt by many people, a couple of which have skulls. First thing that this thing will do is it'll let go of your skull for now. Hold on to it. I'm going to take it later. And it's going to give off a burst of light. And basically, so give me just a second here.
Sure.
Because this particular spell has been remastered.
Ew, gross.
It's probably a bad thing for us. It's probably been optimized.
So this burst of black flame bursts off of it and gives off a strange luminosity as it fills the room. Everybody who's still conscious needs to give me where's the save? Ooh, there's no save listed.
Oh, awesome.
So,
Oh, darn.
Are you sure this is remastered and not P-mastered? Been optimized by Patrick to have no save?
no. So what it did
Sure.
is it bounced me over to Fairy Fire, which is not the correct version of the spell.
Ah,
So-
interesting. Got it.
So this is actually called Revealing Light. Boom, a wave of magical light washes over the area. You choose the appearance of the light. So this black flame, like I mentioned. Everyone, a creature affected by the revealing light is dazzled. If it is invisible, it becomes concealed. However, there is a basic save to it. It's like a reflex save. Basic reflex save.
Basic reflex.
That's what I wanted to see. I don't know why it took me to Fairy Fire.
Because that's the
Old
old school version of it. Yep.
Yep.
Where do you want to start?
We'll start with you since
I have
you
21.
21. Okay.
What's the modifier?
The reflex.
Yeah.
So you go to your saves, wherever your saves are.
I don't know. That's what I was like, I don't know where to find this in the app.
No, you're good.
I don't know, maybe
Okay, while you're
Right there.
checking
Oh,
it out,
so,
there we
you
go.
be- so you add
Oh.
plus 3.
there. Okay. 13.
13. Okay. Ophelia?
9.
9.
19.
19. Okay, so Lysander and Mert, you are you made the save. And then those that didn't. Okay. Here we go again.
Dazzled?
Yep.
Yeah. So if you succeed, you are only affected for 2 rounds. So you're dazzled for 2 rounds.
Okay, got it.
If you failed, you're dazzled for a minute.
Oh,
Wow.
no.
Basically the rest of the combat.
Yep. So that's kind of its little defensive move.
Concealed.
Don't feel.
No, he's concealed to us.
And then it's going to have to, it's concealed to you, so it's a flat check 5, right? Then it's going to fly over into Mert Square, and that'll be its turn. That brings us to Ophelia.
Okay. I am going to. I'm going to try Ink Shot.
Ink Shot. Okay. So you use the actions to cast that spell, and then I'll need a flat check 5 for you to be able to get it off and hit him.
Yep. I got a 5.
Okay. Well, the DC is
Yep,
5.
DC 's
so
5.
You are able
You got
to
it.
connect with your spell, so
Okay,
now you have to
so-
do the whatever you need to do with the spell, which is like a roll to hit, right?
Yeah, I have to make a spell attack.
Okay.
21.
21's a hit.
Yeah.
And then he takes. He takes 4 points of poison damage.
Oh no!
Plus, it blasts the target's eyes, making them dazzled for 1 round.
Take that!
As the stinging ink blurs and distorts the creature's vision.
No, no! So this black ink splatters into the skull helmet that he's wearing and gets in his actual eyes. We can just see like glinting underneath that skull helmet. And
Yep.
it flutters down to the floor and starts spasming. And as it does so, it kind of swells and then shrinks down. Swells, shrinks down, swells one more time, and pow, bursts into this inky black goo.
Ugh.
Yeah. This is also bad news.
For our friend that's at dying 3?
It's called Shadowy Pop.
Oh no.
When I die, I explode into a shadowy, noxious tissue. Like a burst bubble, each creature within 5 feet must succeed at a DC 18 Fortitude save.
Well, she's
or
not within 5 feet.
Something's gonna happen.
So just me.
He moved over
me.
to
He
more.
moved over, yeah. So
Mert.
yeah, it's basically you two. You're right. It's technically in Mert Square right now because it is a tiny creature.
Yeah, it's trying
As
to
I
pop.
said.
Yeah, pop his head off. What do we need? I'm sorry, I was
Fortitude.
I was worried about her dying right now.
She's okay.
Fortitude
For
save,
now.
you say?
25.
Oh,
Oh, okay.
13.
13. Okay. It's not a critical fail.
I mean, that's great.
So you're sickened 1 as this stuff, like this noxious black fluid, blasts into your face.
Love it.
Okay. Okay, we're not done yet, though, because somebody is dying.
Dun dun dun. Sorry.
Whose turn?
Not just dying a little bit.
Dying a
3.
lot.
Yep. Yeah.
It's Alara's turn.
It's
Okay.
a large turn. Yeah.
Well, Ophelia does have 1 action left, because it's only 2 to cast the spell, right?
True.
Oh yeah. But I don't have anything that'll help anybody.
Sure.
I have an ability called Prophecy's Pawn.
Interesting.
It's a trigger. When I fail a saving throw, attack roll, or a skill check, which I just failed a saving throw,
Just did.
I can twist the prophecy in my favor, in which you have consequences later. Reroll the failed check. You must use the result of the second roll, and then for 24 hours afterwards, the GM can force me to reroll a successful
Oh.
reroll. I just totally lost. After GM can force you to reroll a successful saving throw, attack roll, or skill check as fate balances the scale.
Sure. I love it. That's
That's
definitely
super
Lysander's
cool.
flavor.
Yeah.
I'm going to use that
Okay.
to reroll this.
Sure.
Let me take that off so I can actually see my number.
You're going to owe me 1.
Yeah, yeah.
You're going to owe fate 1, as it were.
How about 16?
Okay, still a fail.
Okay, sounds good.
Super cool though.
Yes.
Yeah.
So do I get to cash in only if you pass the
Nope.
second check? So because you called
Because I've
upon
used the
fate,
ability, yep.
Fate has to rebalance itself
Yep.
regardless of the outcome.
Correct.
Very cool. Very Lysanderish.
That's right.
Is that a
Yes.
word? Can we say that?
Lysandery?
Lysandery. You
Sure.
like that better? All right, trademark. Lysandery, trademark.
Yeah.
Okay. That brings us to
Yeah.
Alara.
I don't have any.
Yeah, I have. I'll just delay because I have nothing that can help this situation.
Okay.
I mean, if I do
I can hand you
untrained
soap.
medicine, will it hurt her?
I'm sorry, do what?
If I do an untrained medicine, will it hurt her?
It could.
Yeah, so...
So I'm not gonna do that.
I'm not even sure treat wounds you can do untrained.
I don't think so.
Let's see. Medicine.
Gonna have to have a healer's toolkit.
You sure do.
Treat wounds says trained only.
Yeah, untrained.
Administer
you can do
first aid. Is not trained only.
Yeah, but I'm not sure first aid is...
Stabilize.
first aid can be used to stabilize.
Yeah, it says stabilize attempt a medicine check
Oh, okay.
on a creature that has 0 hit points and the dying condition.
And do you
The
have to
DC
have-
is equal to 5 plus the creature's recovery roll. But you don't have a...
Healer's
you have to
toolkit.
have a healer's toolkit.
Oh
Yep.
yeah, no. No.
Pretty high on the shopping list for this
Okay,
party.
so
Just then, a merchant pops in.
Hey,
Hello. I'm the healer's gift
75
merchant.
gold.
No, this is not this kind of game.
okay, yeah. Go ahead, Alara.
So Alara is delayed.
Yeah.
Okay. So that'll bring us to the top of round 3 to Mert.
There's nothing I can do either. I'll drop out of rage and just kind of, oh no, Persephone, hang on.
Don't worry,
Yeah,
he's
I
not
mean,
gonna
I'm
get your
just
skull.
basically, I can't really aid her in her death roll, so just kind of looking over her nervously. That's my turn.
Don't
Okay.
die.
Lysander.
I will cast 2 action harm,
Okay.
and I will heal her for 15.
15. So you are now have 15 hit points. You stop having to be dying,
Yep.
but you are now wounded.
And then
Back
And
to
since
bed.
you went down from a crit, it's wounded 2, if I'm not mistaken.
I believe so.
for my remaining action,
Not wounded 3, thank
I will force myself to throw up to get rid of the sickened condition.
you. Okay. Well, that's certainly one way you can do so.
It certainly is.
Okay.
Certainly is.
Huh.
And that brings us to Persephone, who is now on the floor, conscious.
And in pain.
And in pain.
Yeah.
The enemy has been defeated.
Yeah, you kind of roll around and look, you see like there's now just this black splop on the floor.
I just lay back down and I'm like, I'm rethinking everything.
Okay. And we can all rethink everything after this break.
Oh my
I
gosh.
I can't believe we're already at break time.
I know.
So hang tight with us, guys. We're going to go ahead and I'm going to chill with you guys for a little bit. I'm going to pull up chat. And Jenny, if you help me like you did last time, that was a huge help for me to catch up on some of the questions that people had out there. So I'll hang out and talk while everybody goes and has a break. Maybe Sarah rethinks her. Please don't go.
I'm not.
Okay. Like, don't hate me. I'm just.
I know.
Just,
It happens.
Yep. The
Yeah.
dice are telling a story.
Yeah,
It is
Absolutely.
telling a
this is the
story.
game, right?
So I was thinking I was gonna have to remake a whole new character. I'm like, oh, you guys are gonna have to make a new mini. And
I would be interested to see what you brought to the table, but I'm also interested to see where Persephone goes. So
That's right.
Yep.
I'm glad you guys pulled it out. But that is the kind of game we're playing.
That's right.
It can certainly happen.
Welcome to the club, though.
yeah.
The oh my god, I'm sweating.
Yeah.
It's-
Oh my
now-
god, I'm gonna die.
Yeah. Now it's time to
At
go.
level 1.
Time to go take a nap.
All right, guys. So yeah, I'll hang
Back
out
to
for a bit.
bed.
And,
Yeah. 100% back to
we'll come
bed.
back and see what's up.
Okay.
Out of print GM in chat says that untrained healing is easy. A tourniquet to the neck stops all bleeding.
Hey, to be
True.
fair,
Yeah.
I
Is
was
You gotta have a healer's toolkit to have a tourniquet.
Is that a 3-action
Yeah,
activity?
to be fair, I was
Health off.
when I asked earlier about where Mert was burning. Lysander's first reaction was, "Let's take him over to the torture room. If it's burning on his hands, we'll just cut his hand off."
Okay.
And Jacob needs to pronounce erratic more, because apparently somebody heard erotic.
He starts vibrating erotically. Oh, okay. Yeah. Interesting. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Yeah, we got very close. Okay. Break question. What are the condition types on Pathfinder 2? Well,
A lot.
so that, yeah, there most of the conditions, like I have my GM screen here that has most of the conditions, and there are it's like a 20 to 25 various conditions or afflictions, and all of those have a scale of 1 to 4. So usually when you're afflicted with something, you'll kind of start off at 1, and as you fail each of your saves, you'll progress down this track to tier 2, tier 3, tier 4, etc. The damage or the affliction gets worse and worse and can potentially kill you or has more of a chance of killing you the higher that number gets. This is similar if you're familiar with Pathfinder 1st edition. In the Pathfinder Unchained rules, there were the things like the poison track, the disease track. And those tracks, you went up a number, and then as you made saves, you came back down the number. And there were certain spells that can help bring you down. They refined that a lot for 2nd edition and made all of the tracks just a very simple, very elegant 1 through 4. And your saves can bring you down the track, so you get better over time as you're allowed saves at certain intervals. And if you fail those saves, you can go back up the track. And if you critically fail a save, you can go even further in the track instantly, which could kill you right off the bat. So things like poison, disease, those things are all a lot deadlier, I think, in second edition. They have, well, I shouldn't say that. They have relevance, even into higher levels, because these afflictions scale with the characters. So as they progress in power, the things that they're facing will progress in power, and those conditions will have their own level. So they can still die from Phil fever if they have bad enough saves. So yeah, that's kind of a quick rundown of the conditions, and I won't go through all of them because like I said, there's over 20. But a very simple 1 through 4, and then things like even slowed and quickened are replaced, like haste and slow. But it's just a simple, like, you're quickened 1, you're quickened 2, you get that many actions. It's a very simple, elegant, I think, system, and it's the same across the board. So you don't have to remember, like, oh, what's this for poison, but oh, what's this for a curse. So I like it a lot more. I'm still getting used to those kind of progressions. But great question. Yeah. I do like it too.
There was a question on what Lysander was playing, and we covered that he was a bone oracle, but the oracle has its own special nuances. When they cast certain spells,
Man,
they
I just sit down at the table, you're airing on my dirty laundry. No.
certain
I didn't.
certain effects.
Yeah, so I am playing an oracle, which they have lots of ability. So for a, if you think of it kind of like a cleric, but with a different flavor, right? So the oracle I have access to a little wider spectrum of spells, but in turn for that, there's certain spells that I cast that will progress me down this thing called Cursebound. As I become Cursebound, I have negative effects that come with my curse. So I have this immense power that has been given to me, in our story here. Lysander is a follower or an oracle of Urgathoa, and she has given him essentially part of her, or like her toenail, or some kind of deific thing that he is imbued with. But with this power comes this curse. And so as I progress down this track, it becomes more difficult. There are things that make it more difficult. My particular curse, I gain weakness to both negative, essentially vitality and void damage. So if I take vitality or void damage while I'm in a curse-bound state, I will take more damage of that type. Also, while I'm curse-bound, I take a negative. If I'm curse-bound too, I take a negative to my fortitude save. So it's just these kind of resounding negatives that are built into the character. But I get some really neat things that are fueled by that curse-bound state that help offset those negatives that weigh into what we're doing.
Yeah, certainly, and they've been vitally important, especially for Mert when I've gone unconscious, and you've had to
nudge the scales
on me to bring me back. That's been super massive, because those don't burn your spell slots, right? It's just you're taking that you're taking those penalties upon yourself as the cost.
Yep.
Which is super cool.
Okay, well, I'll let you guys continue to talk about that.
Sure.
I'll slip away for a little bit.
Sure.
And then when we come back, we'll get right back to what's going on in this strange chamber.
Yeah.
And the stuff in here.
I like the fact that my random knowledge came into effect here.
Yeah, you gotta love when you have the like 1 or 2 lores you wind up getting. You get to roll them. It's exciting.
Yeah.
Because like Patrick was mentioning, because it's very specific to this creature, it decreases the DC significantly, which is huge.
Yeah.
So I'm really glad we got to know what it was, and man, what creepy flavor, the shadow fairy that comes from the shadow plane, presumably, and the way it's manifested is through somebody that's dabbling in it, and they use the skull of that person. It's freaky.
Yeah, that'll be interesting.
Yeah.
Because we're gonna have to investigate the Skull Empire.
Right?
Yeah. Which I think is mostly just like that altar, right?
Yes.
We'll have to check that out, which is interesting. But
Persephone might take a step back from the investigation
Sure.
for a little bit for
Yes.
this one.
Completely understandable since,
yeah,
he
deep
almost
breaths.
died.
Yeah.
I mean, we let Mert rest before we throw him into something.
And almost had your head torn off.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
What a wild skill set that this thing
Dude,
has.
right?
That's
Oh my
exact. That's
God.
Patrick played him right to the the kind of the morale or the tactic of this specific creature, right? That's what it wants to do because it's collecting these skulls. So it's going to immediately try when it has the opportunity to try to add another one to its collection.
Right.
Which is
Right.
And we were literally like one bad roll away from.
Twice.
well, and that's a great reason why these hero points are baked into this system because it is so deadly. Like in one turn,
Yeah.
it crit you and knocked you down, and then it could
Rip your
Potentially
head
kill
off.
your skull.
in its first turn of combat. Like
Yeah.
that is a deadly system,
Yeah.
and it's buffered by having these hero points to kind of protect you from those things. You making him re-roll his attack, or you using it to re-roll your save, could save your butt. Luckily, you rolled well on it, but
Yeah.
So I guess
Somebody called an extreme chiropractor.
so thinking about it tactically though, is it more beneficial for us to save the skull bone instead of going for the reroll? Do you save the skull bone for the I'm dead, here's I'm cashing in all my skull bones to be
reject
alive?
death. Yeah, great point. To reject death at 0 hit points. That's That would be a very smart use of it as well. Yeah.
Because if you cash it in to re-roll, you're
She could
putting
have
your
rolled
hands
worse.
back. Correct.
Right. Yeah, I think I rolled one like I rolled a 4 and I cashed mine in. I roll a 3. It's
Right.
like,
Blech.
yeah.
Yeah.
It's interesting, like figuring out where to use those. Like, I mean, I used mine to make him re-roll the 20. For,
Very smart.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what I did when I saved Mert
Yeah, for
back
sure.
at the farm.
I was hoping I was going to do enough damage that it was going to kill it, and because I was like, it can't have that much health left. But I'm actually glad I didn't kill it because it would have done damage to Persephone while she was on the ground,
Yeah.
Great point too. I didn't even think about that.
and that
That
would have
didn't-
progressed her beyond our repair.
That didn't come through on my knowledge that a certain somebody
Blows
likes
up when
to
they
pop.
die.
Yeah, we wouldn't have known that
Yeah.
without maybe a very, very high roll, but there's no way you would have known they had that ability. Oh, man.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. I guess. Well, first of all, hi. Well, last of all, hi to everybody who is watching on Twitch
Oh,
and
yeah.
YouTube.
And YouTube, right. We've had a really good week. There's those 2 episodes of Critical Knowledge that dropped on Friday. There will be another one this Friday. We're going to talk about how to convert your D&D 5e game over to Pathfinder.
That's awesome.
So I know we've run into a lot of people asking these questions, like how do you convert, that Hexblade Warlock
Yeah.
that's in D&D? How do you convert that over into Pathfinder? How do you convert your long-running campaign if your guys are just getting kind of stale or burnout on that 5e action economy? How do you get them into this smooth sailing 3 action economy, right?
Absolutely.
So I'm looking forward to that. It's going to be
Yep.
really
Yeah.
good.
And those that haven't watched those videos yet, definitely recommend checking them out. They're short form,
Yeah.
easy to digest, real fast. And I got to say, like, you did a great job, Mike, with the top 5. Like, I watched that and I texted you, but same deal. I was
Yeah.
like, this is now my new go-to video to shoot to all my 5e friends to be like, hey, this is why you should check out 2e.
Yeah.
Because it is a tactical system and just the flow of it is so greatly improved in my personal opinion. I'm super biased,
Sure.
but you,
and I
your
do
points
wanna,
were great.
I do want to say, for those of you that are watching over on YouTube, I know we have a lot of things that are geared toward what we do over here on Twitch, but you are not forgotten. We love you too. And hopefully we can get to a point here real soon where we can start having some direct interaction with what goes on in the YouTube chat and stuff like that. I mean, we've had a big week. I think we've got like 20 subscribers in this week alone on YouTube.
Yeah.
So thank you if you are one of those that have just dropped in and just kind of figured out what we're doing. Thank you very much. If you're not following us on YouTube, I mean, it doesn't cost you anything, and man, it sure helps a lot to get the word around. So
Absolutely. Yeah, so definitely hit that button.
that's right.
Yep.
And then same on Twitch.
For sure.
You can follow on Twitch, subscribe on YouTube, check out the Patreon.
100%.
You know, if you really like what we're doing and you want to, you know, shuffle a few bucks our way to help you know, keep this production in line.
Right. And helping us build a community,
maintain it.
right?
Yep.
Yeah.
100%. Yeah, because all this stuff goes right back into the show.
100%.
Yeah.
Speaking of the show, let's get back to it.
Let's do it.
I'm
I
ready.
suppose. So you are in this strange chamber, which this creature kept referring to as his empire of skulls. And kept asking, how did you get in here?
Obviously, he didn't know where the door was.
Right. Maybe he didn't know how to get out.
This might be a good thing.
This
Yeah.
I presume. I'm sorry. I'm currently throwing up, but
And Persephone
Just for a
is
little bit.
on the floor, kind of having
having a moment.
having a moment.
Existential crisis.
Yep, that word.
And as you roll over, you see this other dead body next to you with the top half of its skull just kind of, you know, blown out. And just this spray of old dried blood on the stone floor.
Oh man.
What do you do?
Search the corpse.
Okay, seems reasonable. So the corpse itself, like I said, it's dressed in black robes, or used to be dressed in black robes, I should say, because the degree of decomposition here, the clothing has started to kind of rot away, and underneath it's revealing the person's flesh.
Oh, he still has flesh under there?
There is still some flesh under there, yeah. So you
fleshy
can still
bits.
see on the skin that there are some things like piercings, some maybe some tattoos, so lots of scarring. If you're, let's see,
Interesting.
near the corpse waist, it looks like whatever pockets were in the robes have since rotted away, and the contents of the pockets are now scattered on the floor around the corpse. So there's a few things that you find here. The most significant thing that you find is what seems to be some sort of key. It's a very ornate key. And here we go with the teeth, the key pieces. And I think the key is popped up, or it's going to pop up in our fourth pane of our overlay there. So the key, the teeth of the key are extremely ornate and complex. The shank of the key and the bow are carved to form what looks like a forked tongue. So if you stick it into a lock, it's like the lock has a tongue sticking out of it.
Okay.
The key itself is carved from a single piece of obsidian.
Ooh.
Oh my.
Neat.
The key is kind of loosely wrapped in a scrap of leathery skin. So as you unroll the skin to really kind of get a sense of what this key looks like, you notice there are some words tattooed on the inner surface of the skin in faded ink.
In what language?
It's in common,
Oh, okay.
and it just says death and secrets.
Death and secrets.
Oh my.
Okie dokie.
The only thing I'm thinking of is, remember that one box that was full of spices, but it had the devil tongues?
Uh-huh.
That's the only thing I can think of right now with
Good
that.
point. Yeah, I don't remember if that had a
I mean,
key
we
thing on
opened
it
it.
or not.
Yeah, we
But
opened it
what-
up with spices, but
But what if there's a secret compartment?
Great point. Yeah, if it had some
Could
kind of
be.
keyhole, potentially, maybe.
Or there might be another keyhole somewhere else in this place that we haven't found.
Yeah, we
Right.
have a lot.
Sure. Yeah, speaking of this altar or whatever is still on the far side of the room,
Skull throne.
is there? Can I potentially try to like see if there's any kind of iconography of what was taking place in this room, with like a religion roll?
Yeah, you can go ahead and spend 10 minutes over there checking out the skulls while we'll continue with what's here in the pockets.
Yes.
There is also a couple little tiny vials that the stoppers are still intact.
that's impressive. Those are some good stoppers.
No, must have been a very skilled stopper applier.
Cork makers?
There's a bee on it.
Maybe. There are also two shiny well, maybe not so shiny anymore, gold coins.
Okay.
So 2 gold pieces, 2 bottles. One of them you can kind of see through, and the substance inside is kind of like a black fluid. And the other is a container that you can't see through.
Great.
Yeah, and if you move around the clothing some more and kind of examine there are numerous piercings covering the body. It is a male. There are piercings, tattoos, like intentional scarring, meaning that there are scars like in patterns, geometric patterns, or maybe like some stippling or other kind of designs that are clearly not from like, oops, I cut myself. This was done on purpose.
Oh.
Ritualistic in nature.
Indeed.
Maybe.
Is this something that falls under your purview?
I can definitely.
Lysander?
Does it look occultish?
I would actually take a religion check for what's going on with
I have
this
that too.
particular person.
Yes.
Do you want me to roll it, or are you going to roll it?
You know what? This isn't like a secret trait, so I'll let you roll it
Great.
for funsies.
That's the bit that I was looking for.
21.
21.
All right.
So with a 21 religion, you know that these types of body modifications are very typical for worshippers of Zon Kuthan.
Yeah.
Oh.
Zon Kuthan is also known as Lord of Darkness. He is the god of like pain. He is the sort of lost to darkness twin brother of Shellen, who is the goddess of art and beauty and love, I think.
Mm-hmm.
So kind of he is her shadowy antithesis.
Okay.
Could this be Shadow?
Smoke?
Smoke?
Smoke, that's it, sorry.
Oh,
I know it
smoke.
was started with something, like, it was something dark and, yeah.
Yeah, okay. So, yeah, you think about it, it's maybe, but the note did say that Smoke was buried in the crypts.
That's right.
Yeah, this person wasn't buried.
Okay.
Maybe that's where the
That's an interesting
key
thought,
comes
like-
from.
But
The,
I don't know
uh,
who
the-
this is,
The
though.
piercings.
Mhm.
Do any of them look like any kind of exotic metal, or are they just all just mundane metal of any kind?
yeah, there's nothing, exotic here. There's just like mostly just iron and steel piercings.
Okay.
Nothing of value, if that's what you're.
No, I wasn't looking for value. I was
Just
looking for
exotic.
types of metal.
Yeah, so no, there's nothing fancy about what these piercings are. They
Cool.
look very low grade, like what any run-of-the-mill
Sure.
street tough might have.
Yep. I will relay the information about the gentleman from my religion check, so everyone knows.
Okay.
Perhaps that explains some of the implements in the other room. If he was a Kuthite, that makes sense, I guess.
Yeah, but who is he?
No idea. Maybe Argoon might have an idea. He did tell us to take care of him. Perhaps we should try to move him somewhere, lay him to rest someplace.
Well, he still's got meaty bits.
Have an idea, but I don't want to say it.
You mean the scrying pool?
Yeah,
Because I'm right there with you.
just throw him in the scrying pool.
There's also coffins.
Yeah, but...
I like
might want
Lysander's
ice
thought
pop.
process better.
We
There's-
might want those later.
There's also prison cells.
And we might need those later.
Why don't you give me an occult check while you're thinking about putting this decaying carcass in a scrying pool?
19.
Okay. So remember when you stuck your staff in it, it kind of like clung to your staff, but then like went back down the pool almost as if it's of its own accord, and it did the same thing from your body like, when you rolled around it and then got back out. So you have a sense that if you were to throw a decaying corpse into there, not only would it potentially affect the capabilities of the scrying pool. But it's likely capable of recognizing self from non-self and would try to separate itself from this thing eventually.
It wouldn't work.
Okay.
Gotcha.
So yeah, we could just put him in a coffin and leave it, or we could go bury him in the backyard.
And we haven't even explored the backyard.
Yeah, we haven't explored the backyard.
Let's just throw him in the coffin where the ribby scrabbler thing is, and all the dead things, and just close that coffin and like.
Sure. I think that makes sense. And we have all these keys. We don't know where they go.
We don't know where this one goes. The 4 he found
Right.
go to the cells.
Went to the cells. But perhaps there's somewhere on the grounds we've not found yet that the key goes to. I don't see any place in this room that opens up to a new door.
So to get back to your original question, Mert, there, as you were examining that skull altar and trying to get a sense of the purpose, it just appears that this thing found itself in a room where the wall was made of skulls, and it was like taking the skulls, like where it could pry them loose of the wall
Right.
and piling them in an altar. And you did notice it was talking to one of them as you came in.
Right.
That's pretty much what you can figure out. As far as any kind of ritualistic, you're not sure.
Yeah. Like this is definitely not any specific like organized religion or anything that I would have any idea about. Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, well, isn't it still daytime?
It is technically daytime. When you came down here, the sun was shining through the red
Yeah.
filtered stone in the.
So if we do want to travel the grounds, we'll have to wait till nightfall.
That's a great
That's
point.
okay because you need rest.
I do need rest.
Yeah. So why don't you lie down and we'll, have some snacks and hang out for a little bit. Mert is already fishing into his backpack for a little piece of something, maybe like a hardtack biscuit. Just kind of closing his eyes and slowly chewing it, trying to enjoy it.
Can I examine the specific skull that he was talking to? The little flying, fluttering.
Yeah, so pick up the one that
Yeah.
he was talking to. Yeah. There's no outward features that would make it unique from the others. It's just chose to speak to it.
Interesting.
It was the cleanest and fullest.
Maybe.
I don't know.
I would take an Arcana check from you if you want to know more about why you would want to talk to this skull, or if you have Lore Shadow Mind.
No, I rolled a 1.
Okay. So yeah,
It really was his wife.
yeah, you think it was.
Great.
He was. They engaged. They had entered a holy matrimony in this chamber of skulls.
And this was the.
I thought he was going a whole
The
different
officiant,
way,
right?
and I needed to swallow.
I now
Right,
pronounce you husband and wife, and then boom, his head explodes like confetti.
Yep.
Yeah.
Because there's so many jokes, but we'll move on.
Yes, please, thank you.
So
But you have found a couple vials of some stuff that I don't think you currently have the capabilities of figuring out what they are.
Nope.
Because nobody has crafting.
Yeah, and or other
alchemical
things.
knowledge.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna head upstairs and find a room and just take a nap.
I too am going to go lay down. I've burned through all of my.
Do we want to just rest for the rest of the day and get back
Probably.
to a night cycle?
Yes.
I think so. Yeah.
Then? All right. Well, why don't we go ahead and do that?
Okay.
So you
Barry.
get to your respective chambers, and I'm assuming Lysander low-key claims that master
100%.
bedroom again.
Every time.
Whatever, dude.
When your bodies feel rested, and you've kind of taken that 8 hours of rest again, it's kind of bending the rules a little bit. So don't get on my case out there. I know, but that's okay, because when you guys wake up from this, I'm going to go ahead and let you re-prepare your spells, which technically you're only supposed to do every 24 hours, right? But we'll roll into that and say you rested long enough, and we'll just bend the rules a tad this time. But when you wake up, you are you feel like you've gained something. Gained power. Gained.
Oh.
You feel stronger. You feel like you're level 2.
Ooh.
You feel it in your bones.
Feel it in my
Question,
bones.
We made it.
How do I get rid of the dying or wounded condition again?
Okay, so to get rid of the
Resting.
wounded condition is a great question.
Ticks down 1 every time you rest.
Yep.
So
Okay,
So you'll be wounded 1 right now.
Yep.
Let's see. And these bright lights are killing my ability to read. I'm gonna have to scrunch
What
down.
are you trying to find? Dying?
If you gain the dying condition while you have the wounded condition, blah blah blah. That's that. I'm trying to figure out how to get rid of the wounded condition.
Get rid of
I
wounded?
think you just
Yeah,
keep
it's not on
resting.
my-
I think that's
Just
the
a
way.
full night's of rest. Yeah.
Yep.
The wounded condition end if someone successfully restores HP to you using treat wounds, or if you are restored to full hit points by any means and rest for 10 minutes.
Okay. Yeah. So your night of rest will get you one of those wounded gone.
Yeah.
And then any of those other things that occur would get rid of the other one, should that happen.
Okay.
the rest of the day. Did that night of rest get you all the way back up to full hit points? Okay. So, yeah, so that won't meet that other condition then, until somebody does that for you. So you'll hang out with Wounded 1 for now. But I think Mert's Wounded has now gone away.
Right. Yeah, I'm no longer wounded.
Okay. We'll fix that soon.
Oh. Not that I'm level 2 now. Can't beat me now. Invincible.
Now you'll face level 2 creatures.
Right. How about that?
Level 2 threats.
Yeah, because that's another elegant feature of this game is the well, we won't go into it. Well, that could be another break discussion.
Yeah.
Probably.
Or a
it
critical
could be-
knowledge episode.
Could be a
Yep.
critical knowledge episode.
Absolutely.
Because this system is so elegantly designed. I can't speak to it enough. But we'll move on from there.
It's designed to kill us.
Yeah, but it's got some things to help you survive.
Yep.
Ish.
You were brought to the brink, and you made it back through your heroic efforts.
Yes.
And that counts for something.
Yeah.
That's why you're level 2, and not a skull hat on a little blue ferryman in his empire of skulls.
Yeah. A roller coaster is fun because it goes up and down, right? You wouldn't want to ride it. It's like the little kitty caterpillar that goes in a circle and does one little whoop. That's
Yeah.
not fun. We don't want to play a game like that. We want the
Yeah.
the corkscrews and the flips and barrel rolls. Like
Okay.
that's what makes a good play.
I was on it with you. Yeah, believe me, I was, my blood pressure was up. Okay. So as you're doing your preparations for the day, and you talked about, getting some food ready, and, kind of, maybe you're going about exploring the home a little bit more, maybe doing some cleaning, maybe getting things to rights.
Now that I have level
So there
2.
are notable differences now that some of us are second level.
Yes.
Certainly.
Are we going
Go
to
on.
are we going to discuss those now, or are we going to?
I think we can have them kind of come out and play,
Okay.
unless there's something
Well,
you
there's-
physically want to describe.
There is something physically notably different.
Then
Interesting.
I think people
Yeah.
would want to see that and know
Okay.
that, right? Because we're seeing
So as Lysander comes out of the room that he has low key claimed as his,
Yeah.
pay attention not to the sign that says Lysander's room on the door.
stay out.
But as he comes out of the room, he is in fact missing his left thumb
Oh.
on his hand, and you hear like this shambling walking sound of a figure coming out of the room behind him, and he says, "Remy, come here."
Excuse me.
Remy? Who
And-
is Remy?
A shambling zombie comes walking out of the room.
Okay, when you said physical changes, I thought maybe like your hair went gray
No.
or something.
No,
There's a whole other dude with
there's a
you.
whole nother dude.
What? Where did he come from? Is he under control?
Absolutely, he does everything I tell him.
Okay. Well, as long as you can keep him under control,
His
will be all right.
His loyalty will never be tested beyond me.
Okay.
I've learned to trust you, Lysander. When you talk a big game, but you back it up. So I believe you.
So who's controlling this?
Interesting.
Who's controlling this guy?
I am.
Okay. So you're gonna do all the Sounds to you?
Yeah.
Okay. I will keep that in your capable hands.
I mean, if you want to do those, I mean, it's cool, but I can do
No, because, no. Well,
Yeah.
It is your character. It is a piece of your character.
It sure is.
I wouldn't play somebody's sword or their
It's,
familiar or,
Indeed.
yeah.
Well,
Very cool.
I mean, you could play a familiar. Which, by the way, I've had my familiar out and about since we've been
cool.
in the house.
You feel safe enough to let it flit about?
Yes.
Okay. Is it just riding on your shoulder? Is it like flying around your head, or how does that look?
Riding on my shoulder, maybe exploring on his own, because, you know, especially in the main level, like, it's,
Sure. Where you feel safe?
yeah.
Okay, I'll remember that.
I'll remember that.
Okay. Bess, how about you? Any changes or anything that any extra people we should know about following around?
no, not at the moment.
Okay.
Not at the moment.
All right.
Because it's nighttime now, correct?
It is nighttime. now.
Yep.
Yep.
We missed the daytime interaction.
Now, yeah, if you want to tell us about something that happened during the daytime, we can do a little rewind, and maybe if there was something that happened that people may have noticed, or if not,
I don't know if anybody noticed, but I can tell you what happened.
I'd love to.
I'd love to know.
Yeah.
Okay. So during the day when, you know, Alara only requiring her 4 hours, while I guess some of the team was still resting,
That's right.
she went to the front door, kind of checking to make sure that no one is around, and there was some scratching noises
I love it.
and some light taps, and so Alara, checking to make sure it's safe, especially for our vampire friends, gently cracks the door, and
Just what?
yes, and in hops her dear friend Greybeak, who is her who is her undead zombie type influence of cockatiel.
Oh,
A zombie cockatiel.
I love it.
It's disturbing. I love it.
And,
Who only comes out at day.
during the day.
It only comes out at day.
Yeah.
This was this
Yeah.
thing that was you were chatting to in the
Yes.
barn.
Yes.
We couldn't see.
Yeah, and
That makes
I
me.
couldn't open the door,
Right.
and so, you know, very excited to see, because I don't get to see him very often.
Sure.
And so he comes to visit, and he immediately jumps up to my finger, and so I take him into the room with the empty pool, and we go and we actually climb inside of it and sit there, and we spend at least an hour or two singing, because he likes to harmonize with me. And the pool has really good acoustics.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, it does.
so we just have we're kind of in our own little world, and
Awesome.
she's very happy in that moment, recalling a very different life.
Sure. Mert may not have noticed what was going on, but it definitely assures me that you're slightly less nuts, because there is something you were legitimately talking to.
But why does Young come out at day?
Well, that you'll have to that
There you go.
that is something that I'm not even sure Alara knows all of the details of that
Interesting.
herself yet, but just that he comes and goes. You know, it is her pet, but she doesn't think of him like that, because he comes and goes as he pleases.
Yeah.
It's more of a friend
Yeah.
that visits. I love imagining this scene, like you sitting down in the shallow kind of pool, you know, that's like mosaic, but it's like polished heath mosaic at the bottom. But you could sit down and have this companion kind of fly around you as you sing together, and just the sound of that echoing in that off of the tile and in this domed room,
Yeah.
under this red light, just it's a very cool scene.
Yeah. That's awesome.
And I think that's a skull bone.
All right.
Oh,
That's
wow.
very cool.
Absolutely.
I like that.
I love that. There you go.
So yeah.
So good.
Well deserved. Absolutely. That's so cool.
So the night is yours. Now that we've kind of, some of us have experienced and maybe even seen what Alara was doing during the day. What do you want to do tonight?
Explore the grounds.
Yeah, just kind of
Yes.
look around the
Who wants to
the
not
manor to
die?
see if we can find where this crazy forked tongue key goes, or if there's a crypt. We have to find the crypt.
Okay, he said it was in the secret tunnel,
He was.
and we found the secret tunnel.
Well, the corpse was in the tunnel. I don't know if the crypt was necessarily in the tunnel. Maybe.
Okay.
Suppose we could go back and look. If we give a quick little look around the grounds, and if we don't find it, we could double check the basement.
So you want to spend some time on the first floor, kind of checking around the various chambers to see if there's a spot for this key.
Sure.
Okay, well, we'll look at rooms that could have a potential key spot, and then we'll figure out how much time that would have taken. Maybe an hour and a half to 2 hours of each of you kind of thoroughly checking each of the chambers that have anything that could even, we'll rule out things like the water closet.
Right.
Or, the foyer. There is that rib cage thing in the foyer with the coats. There is also in the master bedroom, and now that Lysander's been in there a couple nights, there is an armoire in there that no one ever really said they were looking in. And you check that for the key. The key definitely doesn't fit the armoire, but it's not locked. When you
I'll swing
pry
it
open
open.
that armoire, there is a full suit of armor
Oh.
in the armoire.
Oh.
It is and maybe you're not sure even what this is, but it's metal armor that is basically neck to toe, full suit of armor. Game-wise, it's a set of full plate.
Oh, wow. Some nice stuff.
Funniest thing is, I was thinking about trying to look for new armor.
I highly recommended.
I highly recommend it too.
Weird. Look,
It
armor.
just so happens
armor.
there is a set of full plate armor still in the manor.
She's like,
Would anyone mind if I took this?
It is
I can't wear it.
absolutely yours.
yeah.
Thank you.
Mert maybe
Says the
points out his,
spellcasters.
like, small form. Like, I'd have to have that majorly resized to have it fit me properly.
The two ghosts and the two spellcasters say, take it.
Speaking of,
It helps a lot.
that
Sure
painting
does.
down in the torture chamber, does the suit look similarly to what the man was wearing, holding the halberd?
So the portrait is he's in a decorative uniform.
Oh, okay.
So
So it's just like
a jacket with
yep.
lots of medals. The halberd for sure is military, but it may be even be like more of a ceremonial halberd
Sure.
than a true.
Absolutely. Yeah. So the
war.
armor wasn't depicted in that painting.
No.
Interesting. Okay. Just
Interesting
curious.
question though. Yeah, very good. I like how you guys are trying to connect the dots.
Yeah. That's huge, though. That's gonna be so good.
Yeah,
for you.
that's gonna help a lot.
Indeed.
I will still take your skull. No, he won't. He's dead.
Like I hear that in my nightmares.
You, for the rest of your life.
Pretty skull, pretty
Oh,
skull,
God.
pretty skull, pretty skull. Okay, so after an hour and a half or 2 hours or so of exploring the manor, you do find this suit of armor. You do kind of pull open the cupboards. You check every place that you could feasibly think that there would be a lock for this key to fit, and you're just not finding it. And if as you planned, you said you go down into the basement. You know that the 4 keys fit the cells. You don't need to bother
Yep.
with that. There was no real lock on the torture chamber, so to speak. The secret door to the secret passage to the Empire of Skulls chamber, that didn't have any keys. The crypts were unlocked. There's nothing to indicate that this key even belongs to this building.
I suppose we did get a modest plot of land surrounding the building itself, right?
1 acre.
Yep. I suppose we could at least walk the grounds for a few minutes and see any weird disturbances of the ground where there might be an old stone that opens up an old door to a crypt.
Okay.
We're going to go outside.
So you go outside and you start walking the grounds, and again, like we mentioned, on the south end of the manor is that long kind of shallow pool that's obviously not been maintained for a long, long time. Insects buzzing around algae-covered still water. There are a few leaning gravestones at the far end of the pool. And when you go outside and walk around the house and start walking, around the wrought iron fence, the fenced area of the acre of land towards this pool, You notice a small figure like dart behind one of the tombstones.
Oh.
And then you maybe hear like a...
Like a dog?
Or a truffle pig. Do you got your new armor on there?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
But we can't. Like,
So
we saw the movement, but we couldn't see what it was.
Right.
Okay.
Who's there? Is anyone out there behind those stones? Come out!
You, right there!
Caught you red-handed.
this is our land.
Daddy rat?
You're trespassing on...
Where's this word coming from?
I don't know. That's a great question.
Everybody went 1920s gangster cartoons.
The transatlantic accent coming out of Mert makes no sense at all. But
Hey, we don't judge what voices come out of Mert. We've
right.
heard so many.
yeah, I mean, he definitely has this weird thing, especially when he's raging, that very strange voices that definitely don't belong to Mert kind of show themselves or reveal themselves. So that's, yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe that's what's going on. That's what I'm going with right now because I don't have a better explanation. Yeah.
I'll send Remy with Mert if he's going to walk kind of out, just so that there's another body up there with him.
This is our new neighbors. It's nice to meet you.
So you're walking along this...
Let us know if you ever need to borrow flour. We have some.
We had some.
Had. But
Oh,
It's gone now.
Go back to...
Yeah, that's it. There he is.
Ooh. Go on.
Remy's a chatty guy.
So as you're moving down
he said,
the
Mert,
pool,
I got your back.
That's right.
you have your weapon drawn, or are you approaching without your weapon drawn?
I'm approaching kind of non-threateningly. Whatever was fit behind the gravestone can't be that scary, right?
With a zombie walking right behind you.
That's right.
I suppose that's mildly non-threatening in the nation of Geb.
That's right.
This is normal, everyday
Yeah,
life,
zombie?
right?
Yeah, totally.
Yeah, no, we're probably thinking like, well, that's weird as hell.
Zombies provide our agriculture.
Yeah, I mean, I'm
Good.
Yeah. He's just going to pick some flowers,
Yeah,
baby.
just the new gardener that you're doing.
I'm a ghost. That would be freaky to people from not Geb.
From not Geb.
If I saw a ghost walking down the street with a zombie, I'm not hanging around to like find out why.
See? And you thought Sif wasn't going to come play.
Yeah. Is it Sif? No. You said it had a name and it was somebody else.
Yeah, because you wouldn't let me have Sif. He's in training, remember?
Well, you had to. Yeah, he's already here. You had to create this one.
That's right.
Giving up something in the process. It sounds like.
Indeed.
Yeah, freaky.
Okay. So as you're approaching, you're not hearing or seeing anything. Just these kind
Except for
of.
Remy.
Except for Remy.
Yeah, he's stomping in the mud. You know,
Chatty
maybe
guy.
one step into the pond. Oh, no, but I'm going to try not to take over Remy.
Oh, hey, you're doing great.
This is not my character. But as you approach, you know, I'm assuming you have the light
Yep.
on your candle.
Yep.
There are 3 or 4 gravestones that are kind of tilted in the earth, that clearly haven't been maintained. And around the base of all of them is like piles of loose earth. Like something's maybe been digging around here. That's what you see right now.
Okay.
What do you do?
I'll definitely point it out to the rest of my party that might be waiting further behind me. You know, looks like there's been some digging. You there behind the tombstone? Have you been digging in our yard? What are you looking for?
Are you walking with us?
Yeah.
Okay, great.
Oh, you guys are approaching as
Oh,
well?
yeah.
Oh, okay. Let's take that into consideration.
Whatever you locate on our property is ours. If you'd like it, you can purchase it from us.
Okay.
With a hefty markup.
That's right.
Perhaps it is a truffle pig.
And the profits from that sale will be split into 20% divisions for each member of our
He speaks in.
Really?
enterprise.
This horrible monster comes out from behind you. You bore me to death! And
I give up. Just stop talking.
death by accounting.
Finger of death. Blah!
Blarg.
No, but as you are slowly approaching, Alara, you remember as you were coming in the house originally, you saw some
Yes.
movement over by these gravestones. And so
Right.
you kind of know maybe where to look as opposed to everyone else. And it just so happens you see a pair of beady eyes kind of glinting in the moonlight, just peering from behind one of those stones. And you don't make out a whole lot else of whatever is there. Maybe, is it green skin? If it is, it's off.
Oh, okay. I mean,
As in it's an off color, not like
Yeah.
sloughing off of his skull. You never know
I'm
again,
gonna-
right?
I'm gonna point that out to the group of, hey, I something's looking at us right there.
Okay. So that'll kind of mechanically be the action of pointing out. So that'll grant everybody like the ability to
Perception?
yeah. So yeah, when she points it out, you guys do. Everybody is now noticing this pair of eyes kind of blinking over this headstone, and it's not coming out from behind the headstone. It's trying, and then it notices and ducks behind the headstone.
I would like to try to use diplomacy to try to coax the thing out from behind the headstone.
Oh, nice idea.
Okay, what do you say to do that?
So I will walk up in front of kind of where Remy is and Mert is, and I just kind of kneel down, and I'm just like, come here. Look, if you come out so we can see what you are, maybe you can speak. I'm unsure as to what you even are, but if you come out, we can figure out a better way to do this than what may happen if you don't.
So diplomacy with a threat at the end?
I rolled a 6, dude. So it gives you a total
Accurate.
of like 15, but still, like I was doing okay, and it's not quite as what I wanted it to be. Yeah.
Okay. So you just hear like a.
No, I tried. Remy, kill it.
Wow.
Okay. If that's how it's going to be, I'm going to have to flip this map over. And then while I'm doing that, you guys can start rolling initiatives.
Sure.
Hold them until I ask for them, because I'm going to. Oh.
You want me to find a figure for Remy?
Yeah, because he's going to come into play here.
He
right?
sure is.
I did not bring a Remy figure.
Well, we have these cool ones.
Oh, yeah.
Those look familiar.
They do.
Where?
Okay, so Mert was approaching. Lysander came up to the front to diplomacy with his companion.
Terrible roll.
Actually, the zombie was with Mert, I think.
Sure.
You guys are probably a little bit further back, yeah? I'm guessing Ophelia and Alara want to stay kind of in the background.
Yeah, I'll be in
Yes.
front of them.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Be in the middle, like
Yeah.
in this area here.
There you go, pal. Patrick?
Ooh, okay. And that was kind of following Mert.
That's a big dude.
Yeah.
He is medium sized.
For now, until you put your other thumb on him, or what?
Okay. So
That's the problem. He can't put his thumb on it at the moment.
Until,
here's
Can't put
the
my-
until there's two of them.
here's the fun thing about this game is like you guys can totally take me by surprise, and it's happened right now. I'm taken by surprise, but let's see what happens. Mert, what's your initiative?
It's going to be a 21.
Okay.
Or 22, I'm sorry.
22. Okay. Yeah, you guys are level 2 now.
Yep.
Let me change some of those numbers. Lysander?
Not when you roll
20, 20.
Okay. 22-0. Persephone?
25.
Okay. Well, these are all really good. Did you see you guys all of a sudden get more powerful or something?
Maybe.
Ophelia?
12.
Okay, I take it back. Ilara?
24.
24. Okay. Wow, they're all double digits though, so this is great.
I'm back here going, wait. I thought we were diplomacying this thing.
Okay.
That's why I'm last.
We
So-
tried.
You hear some more movement and shuffling from behind the tombstones. And then it will be Persephone's turn. You don't see anything. So right now, whatever's back there is undetected.
Part of me is trying to learn my lesson from last time. I might have a little more power to me, but I'm like, I don't want to go down over a mysterious thing. Can I get closer and see if I can figure out what it is without attacking it?
So you can. What you'll have to do is you'll have to move to where you can actually have like a line of sight from whatever this thing is hiding behind.
Okay.
And then once you kind of get into where you can see it, then it'll basically have no more cover, and it'll automatically become observed to
Okay.
you. Okay, so that's what'll happen to you. So only you are seeing this thing currently. So as you move up to the end of the pool, behind this tombstone over here, is this small green creature. It's got like almost a porcine face, kind of, but the lower jaw kind of juts further out than the top jaw, and there are tusks sticking out from the lower jaw that like extend above its upper jaw. Beady black eyes. It's got some scraps of leather clothing on. It stands about 3 feet high. And when it sees you come around, it's like...
So I had one action to move.
Mhm.
I'm going to... I'm gonna try to calm it down and see if I can get it to not attack us. Like,
Okay, how are you going to do that?
diplomacy?
Okay, so tell me what you're doing.
I'm putting my hands up. I don't have my weapon out. I'm
Okay.
just like, it's okay. Just calm down. We're not gonna hurt you if you don't hurt us. We just want to talk.
Okay, go ahead and give me a roll.
Did you roll a 1?
Yeah.
Oh my god.
You
could always
maybe
tell.
there's a language barrier or
Yeah.
something.
There must
Because
be.
when you say whatever words you say, you see its eyes squint and like its jaw begins to slaver and its tongue rolls out a little bit. And
I think you said you want to eat its mother.
Ilara,
Okay.
and maybe it says,
Oh my.
what languages do you speak?
Let's see. Common, diabolic, and Necro.
Okay. It says some things that you don't understand. Ilara.
Okay. I'm gonna get into line of sight. But keeping still keeping plenty of distance. And
Okay, it's going to take you 2 actions to get over there.
okay, I only need one for this. I'm going to I'm gonna try to sing it a soothing song to see if I can calm it down. So I'm using performance.
Other.
Nah. 12.
Okay, so when you sing this song and you roll this 12, what is that against?
What was that?
What are you rolling against?
Oh, it was just a performance check.
Performance check.
Yeah.
Okay.
I was
Take
just-
a look at your soothing song. Take a look at what's while we're getting the map figured out. This is a. Is this one of your spells or something? I'm not
No,
sure.
I'm just using skill.
Oh, okay. Oh, you're just trying to use a perform check.
Yep,
Like
that's
you
all.
said, you said soothing song. It's like, is this some spell?
Sorry, not a spell. I'm just trying to sing.
You're
I'm just trying to
sing
perform a.
soothing song?
I'm trying to perform a soothing song.
So you're using performance as your diplomacy check.
Yes.
Now I'm reading what you're saying.
Gotcha. Yes.
And what language are you singing in?
Just the music or the language of music is universal.
Feel
think
my
it works that
love.
way.
Not according to page 3 of 7.
it would just be common.
Actually.
Actually.
It's worth a shot.
Yeah, definitely.
All right, so you give me a roll, and when you start singing it, you can see it like.
Can I hear it making noise?
Yes, yeah, everybody can hear.
We can at
this
least
now.
annoy it to
Is
death,
it
I guess.
actually speaking in a language?
It is. I'm not sure it's any of the languages that you speak.
Okay, I know quite a few. Just checking.
Yeah. Yeah.
You're gonna make me wish I took the multilingual.
Sure. I know we had this discussion. I'm like, yeah, you don't need to know any languages.
Nah.
Little did I know. you
It
guys
could
would do
come
this.
handy, but
Okay, so you move forward twice. You start singing this song, and something about your song is
enraging it.
it's really not landing well for your audience. Everyone else might think
Everyone's
it's
a
cool.
critic.
Especially that guy.
Oh, that got me. Okay, Bert.
I'll take an action to get up close to it, kind of between Persephone and Alara, maybe.
Okay.
So can I see it on the other side of the tombstone now?
Yeah, at this point,
Okay.
there's enough where you can see
Cool.
over the cover because
Great.
the tombstones are tilting into the earth.
Okay. And you both have tried to talk to it in common, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So I'll take like maybe my 2 actions to try a couple just quick phrases in other languages to see if they land. So I'll just basically like, well, hello there in Fey, and then also maybe in Requiem.
Okay. It doesn't seem to respond to you. In fact, it seems to be like digging in and raising its clawed hands as if it wants to defend itself, but Lysander. Very scared for what's going to happen.
I'm going to take one of my actions, and it's just so it's mechanically on the board here. I'm going to take one of my actions and tell Remy, kill that thing.
Okay, so yeah, you do have to order
Yep.
your creature. Yep,
Yep. Even though I said that last turn, I'll mechanically command him to kill him.
got it.
And then I will, for one action, I will cast Protect Companion as this ethereal green energy shimmers out of Lysander and circles around Remy.
Okay.
And then, so that's 2 actions. So command, and then Protect Companion. Third action, shield on myself.
Oh, okay. And now your companion acts?
He moves 15 feet forward. He gets 2 actions.
Yep.
So he moves
I am
15
dreading
feet.
this. Okay, 15 feet.
And then,
He's getting closer.
yep. And as long as he's within, if he's within 10 feet of that creature, and the creature, and I hit it, it takes a bunch of extra damage. So he's just going to continue to move forward until he can essentially hit it. But at this point, he's just going to shamble forward until the way is blocked and then stop.
Okay, so he's kind of standing over the grave marker,
Yep.
looking over it
Yep.
down at this small creature. Yeah, I know. Keep shifting the combat down the map, and we're trying to adjust.
It's on the very edge of the battle map. So
Live shows. Okay. So it doesn't get to attack. It's just going
Nope,
to lumber
it's only
forward.
got 2 actions,
Yeah.
15 feet movement, so you took the first one to move, and then the last 5 step to get right there next to it.
Yeah. That's them zombies.
Sure
Ophelia.
is.
Ophelia.
So many options.
Yeah. I feel like I would be out the other side. I'm gonna move up behind Persephone.
Okay.
And I'm gonna cast one of my new spells,
Oh,
which is
here we go.
why I didn't want to be behind Lysander, because it says living creature.
I do check that box.
You do. So it's a 30-foot line, and it specifically targets live creatures.
Okay, so if you shoot it through the space with Mert in it, it's not going to do anything to him.
Correct.
Yep, so you can just basically blast through that line through to the creature who is living.
For now.
It is a fortitude save.
Okay.
DC 18.
One. 23.
Okay, fine.
That's the only word it knows is boy.
That's so sad. Why are we hurting this thing?
It takes
Are we the bad
half
guys?
Tune in
It
next
takes
time.
half the damage, so it will take. It'll take 3 damage, and it won't take the persistent bleed, but maybe next round.
Okay.
Grim tendrils.
Yes, grim tendrils. That would be what I got. So
Love that spell.
inky black tendrils of darkness curl out from my fingertips and race through the air towards the creature. And every living creature in that line has to make a fortitude save. However, the only other creature in that line is dead.
Right. So it's like those tendrils almost just like burst through my ethereal form
Yep.
towards him. Yeah.
Super cool.
Yeah.
Super cool. Okay, so move up in the 2-action spell. All right. So that brings us to round 2, and this fail.
Yes.
Okay. I'm going to play it how it says to play it. And we'll see what happens.
Let me double check. Yep, that's what it says.
Smarter than mine. How smart is the creature, I should say. Okay. Okay.
Not loving
not
this.
very
So the
much.
closest thing is this zombie that's peering over the gravestone at it.
Yep.
Gotta go for the face.
It tries to bite this zombie.
me too. Mom.
Natural 20.
Oh my
Great.
gosh.
Okay.
I'm glad that wasn't you.
Okay, yeah.
That's why he's here.
I had to switch my brain for a second.
Yeah, literal meat shield.
Okay. I mean, how many fingers you got over there?
Brother, now that I have the ability, it only takes 1 hour and I just call another one back.
Oh.
Okay, so so it did. Okay, you didn't have to consume the thumb.
Nope.
You just had to give up the thumb.
That's right.
And now the thumb. You just
Actually,
thumb down another zombie.
like mechanically, I didn't have to give anything up.
Yeah.
Oh, this is just
Flavor-wise.
Yeah, this is just Lysander.
Flavor
That's
wise,
right.
he gave his thumb away.
Correct.
Okay. Well, it is a natural 20.
Great. I love that.
And as you know, this is. I said it's bite, right? So this is piercing.
Piercing.
Triple damage.
Oh my.
This
Go
is
for it.
called skewered. Triple damage, and the target is slowed 1.
Great.
Right. You're already a zombie.
That's good
Yeah.
for a zombie.
Hey, better me than Mert, I always say.
It is. Okay. Oh boy. Your zombie takes 18 points of damage
Not a problem.
as it chomps down onto the rotten flesh, and then it seems to react to it like, and decides to switch to claws. Okay. It's only 11.
Miss.
Okay. I'm gonna do something here. I'm gonna do something called Death Feast.
I love whatever
That
Death Feast
sounds
says.
pleasant.
And I'm gonna rewind and do this instead of the cloth. That's okay, because of the wording of this action.
Sure.
If the troll's last action was a jaw strike that damaged a living creature or a corpse, I'd say a zombie is a corpse.
Sure.
I don't know. It's not. You know what? It's not technically a corpse. It's animated.
He's an animated
Yeah,
corpse.
You guys are animated corpses. He can't do it. Never mind. I'm gonna just go with the claw and miss. Okay. Well, I am going to then. Man, I really wasn't expecting it, but that's cool.
You tried to be nice. Just
You
didn't.
did try.
I just don't speak whatever strange language this
There's a
little
language barrier here for sure.
tusked fellow speaks.
It'll try its other claw with all the map and everything. And get a 16.
16 to hit.
Mm-hmm.
That is his AC.
Oh boy. All right, so one little tiny claw is going to do 7 points of damage.
Not a problem.
Man, that's
Sponge.
That's a healthy zombie.
Yep. Not for long.
Okay. It felt like so far it's holding its ground. It's hurt a little bit. Persephone.
Okay. I did say I didn't have my weapon out.
That's true.
Right?
How many actions does it take to take your weapon out again?
Just one.
Just one? Okay, never mind then. I will do that. And I will roll to hit.
Okay, so you're actually going to have to step to it. Because you got to where you could see it, but to actually hit it, you'll have to step at it.
Okay.
So action to draw, action to step, and swing. Now this thing's getting surrounded.
That would be 25.
Oh no. 25 is a crit.
Oh.
Ooh, why?
We try to be nice. We just it attack
I understand.
us. Yep.
I understand. Yeah.
That is 14, just regular. Then double it.
You do double it. And is this your scythe or your...
Scythe.
Okay. So
So that would be
14 doubled is
Is
28.
28.
And then,
And then
you
I
get
add
a
another
deadly
D10.
D10.
yep. Yeah. Another 10.
Oh my god.
So it's like
38
Yep.
damage.
Oh my goodness. That's absurd.
You may go ahead and dispatch your sad little foe
Oh,
as it crumbles. Why, baby?
Oh no.
I have no idea how I'm gonna do this. I just cut it down and then I'm like, sorry.
Oh.
Bye.
She cuts its head off.
Yeah.
Okay,
That's what size do.
It's a harvester.
let's stay in encounter mode for a second, because
Apparently, this is not over.
Oh.
Oh no. Poor thing. It's horrible.
okay.
Is it a free action to feel remorse?
It's a free action to cry.
Let's check.
It is a free action to cry.
You know, honestly, yeah. So you do that. It crumbles to the ground, and you immediately notice that its flesh starts stitching back together. Like slowly, the wounds close, and things start healing. Elara.
What is it?
What is that?
Okay.
It's rimming.
Little zombie guy.
All right.
Okay, so Alara's just gonna take like a slight step back
All right.
and then say, "Hey, I know at least the rest of you like my singing," and she's going to cast Courageous Anthem.
Oh, okay.
So
Good.
so
So
that's
plus
Do you include Remy?
I would assume.
Do you
he's
consider
60
Remy
foot,
your
you know.
ally?
It's just whether you consider him an ally.
Yes.
Okay.
I'm not sure I do.
I mean, have you really been properly introduced at this point?
Well, we just met.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
He seems like a nice guy.
Seems
He's
decent.
chill.
Yeah. So +1 for everyone to status bonus to attack rolls, damage, and save against fear.
Okay.
Yes, indeed.
Lysander.
Great. Lysander will, standing where he is there, he will take that hand, the other glove off that's missing the thumb. So that it's clearly the thumb is gone, and he will reach out almost like a puppet wielding the marionette strings.
Yeah.
And just kind of like move his hand, and you start to see kind of like Remy's body kind of reacting to that. And I will cast Necromancer's Generosity.
Yeah.
And I will essentially, through my own necromantic power and ability, I'll start to mend the wounds that have been suffered into Remy. And he will heal back to 11 hit points.
Wow. Nice.
Nice. I was looking at that, but I realized it only applied to minions, so.
Correct. So that's 2 actions.
Okay.
I'll take my 1 action, and I will command Remy to kind of back up. Because we don't see anything else, correct?
It's just laying on the ground.
Okay. I don't think I would do that. I think I'll just keep. I'll have 1 action left. I'll keep Protect Companion up on Remy.
Okay. So Remy stays there?
Yep, he'll stay right there.
All right. Ophelia.
What was that? What is that? What did we just kill?
Let's see. I'll take a society, and since it's a recall knowledge, I'll roll it for you.
Fantastic. I have a +8 in society.
You have a +1. Okay.
Hey.
All right. So here's what you know about this thing. This is actually a strange form of troll. This is called a tombstone troll. Oh. When trolls are regenerating, they've been nearly dead, and they are effused with necromantic energy. That necromantic energy shrivels and ruins their body in a way that they shrink. They become small, pathetic versions of their former selves. Tombstone trolls typically try to find an abandoned graveyard to dig burrows in. And once they regenerate to where they feel like they can face things again, they will go on the hunt and try to kidnap baby trolls to raise in these graveyards and infuse them with necromantic energy so they can have babies.
Oh no. Okay.
I don't like that
Oh, no.
at all.
Mert.
And you know this is a
Move.
troll. And a piece of
And he said, "Baby."
useful energy
Yes.
is that trolls will regenerate until you damage them with acid or fire.
Mert. Move. Actually, all of you, move.
Oh, I see. Okay.
So recall knowledge, and then she'll say this, and then do you want to spend your 2 actions now to ready a reaction to do what you're about to do once everybody moves?
Once everybody moves,
Or do you
I
want
am
to-
going to use my last 2 actions to cast Burning Hands.
Okay. Well, you have to spend the 2 actions to make it. Yeah. Okay. Whatever.
Whatever, you tell me how
I'm
this
with you.
goes. I'm going to
You have
cast
2
Burning
actions.
Hands.
So you'll.
Can you
But
ready
I don't think you can
Burning
ready
Hands because it's not a
multiple
one
turns.
action
Yeah,
thing?
That's
Yeah.
right. You can't.
It's 2. Okay.
So what you could do is.
So I'm behind. I'm in front of you. So you could do friendly fire, and just literally, and we could see how this goes because
Sure, yeah, you could certainly just include us and just nail it.
It is a basic reflex. But you would take half. And it is fire.
Patrick's laughing, so that's definitely the right thing to do.
I just think it's funny that, you're considering just like blasting through your friends.
He said, I just think it's
They're
funny that
telling me to blast through
I've
them.
never been so happy I stepped back.
Yeah. Because if we wait and this thing gets stronger.
Okay. Well, we're in
Yeah.
combat.
Okay. So you know what? Just do it. Do what you want. What do you
You do
think
you.
your character would do?
I don't know. We have time to strat. I mean, we could technically, but there are.
Well, I
we're
mean,
in
how
rounds,
much
so-
how much does it take for them to go do it? if I've relayed the knowledge that what it is,
Oh, so your recall knowledge is the action to kind of quickly tell them, hey, that's a troll. I gotta burn it. That's free.
yeah.
Okay. So then, if you just want to blast with your 2 actions, I gotta burn it, and then let them duck.
Right.
Duck and
But otherwise, you'll have to wait till your next
Duck and
turn
cover.
while we try to get
Yeah.
out of the way.
Fuck it, let's go.
Oh,
Fuck
here
it,
we
let's
go.
do it.
Here we go.
Basic reflex games, guys.
So you can angle your burning hands to where really only looks like Mert and the zombie would be affected,
Okay.
right? If you go from this corner and do a 15-foot.
Your zombie good at reflexes.
Actually, even if you do an orthogonal, it looks like Persephone's going to be in it. So yeah, it'll
It is a
be
cone.
The zombie, 15-foot cone.
I'm
right?
gonna take that damage.
Yeah, so it's going to be all 3 of you guys.
That's fine. 21 on my reflex.
That beats me. Say.
Sweet.
Okay, I still do get a save, even though I'm like.
Yep.
Okay. Uh-oh.
Yeah.
Does that mean she takes double damage?
If I get a nat one.
Oh.
That's a crit failure, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay, let's roll them dice.
Tells a story.
Oh, sure.
Well, I rolled a 5. So I got 5 damage.
Okay, so I'll take some fire damage on my troll.
That would be
We're gonna take
10
2.
for critical.
That's not bad.
10 fire damage to
Yeah.
70. The zombie takes
Takes 2.
2. Okay. And those wounds on that troll. Yeah, he's like, fire, fire. Okay. And that troll stops regenerating.
Sorry.
And
That troll.
we can drop out of encounter mode and you guys can discuss what just happened.
Yep. So, I don't blame you because you needed to get that thing done.
Yeah, the problem is that what if there's baby trolls down there?
There could be baby trolls down there.
What if there's a
Who's gonna
What
look?
if this
what
is
if
the
there's
baby
what
troll?
if there's a bigger troll that is calling the baby trolls? What if there's a bigger thing down there?
We're
So-
about to find out.
Based on your role, you know that this was the adult form.
This is the adult form.
So,
But
Okay. Well,
Baby
So we should
trolls.
look
Could
for the
be babies
babies before
in a
they're no
nest.
longer babies.
yeah.
yeah,
So you want to spend some time kind of digging up the
I
graveyard
mean, it did
and
say babies.
checking the tunnels. Okay.
blasting bursts of fire down it. Sorry.
Aw.
I don't think
We can't return them to their mamas?
Gasoline down a snake hole.
Side quest.
Yeah, that's all we
Yes.
need.
Join us next week for Treks and Trolls. So we return to baby trolls.
Also, I'm hearing is an accelerant and
I have a flint and
match.
steel. Like,
Right?
just
Oh, okay. So that's how we're dealing with baby trolls. Okay. So you dig out the burrows and you're gonna flint and steel. What are you lighting?
no, I'm just saying if we had an accelerant, I could flint and steel it.
Oh, I got you.
Now,
We would have to
don't-
dig it all. We could just pour.
in theory, here,
It's so weird.
In
She's
theory.
so evil and so.
if the trolls are residing on our property, we own the baby trolls.
Yes, we can raise them as our own.
We could either. I would never.
What the fuck?
But
They're just babies. Just wee babies.
I'm sure there are people in Geb that would purchase baby trolls.
as like bodyguards.
To raise
Dorman.
as their own.
Now
as
we're
bodyguards or something.
now we're doing child trafficking.
Okay.
Is that
Now
what
we're doing child trafficking.
So, say
Well.
the beginning of episode 1 for the trigger warnings, as we mentioned. What the fuck?
He's not wrong.
Did we find any baby trolls?
Can we find them? Are they there?
He's
So you spend about 30 minutes to an hour
no,
digging out
there are
the
no
tunnels. and
fucking
then
trolls.
There aren't any
Frickin'
baby trolls
Thank God.
because
What?
I don't want to see what you do with them.
We're just gonna sell them.
There aren't any. I promise. Not just me. The adventure. There's no.
Oh.
There's no babies.
Because I ripped that page out.
Oh my God.
But very interesting lore about this monster. Like,
Yes.
How weird.
Because if we let
Definitely.
it stay on our land,
Right, if it would
could've-
have stayed here, it would eventually start doing that in a nest somewhere here. Yeah.
Yeah.
So after about an hour or so of digging up the tunnels and realizing there's nothing down here, there's maybe a small nest of whatever this. Well, you do know this tombstone troll
Tombstone troll.
has set up this nest in your graveyard.
Not anymore.
There doesn't seem to be any issues anymore.
You know what? We'll make it a side quest to find baby trolls to sell. All right?
No, I just say, and like, I was just saying, like, this manor isn't going to repair itself,
Nope.
and that
That's true.
cost money.
Yep.
Okay. Tune in next week when we see what these sick fucks do next. On the encounters. I don't know what else to say. Aside from it is, unfortunately, the time to
That is.
Oh.
Yep.
Yeah, I can't believe it.
No.
That time flies when you're contemplating child trafficking and whatever. We're okay. We might see you next week. Depends on who's watching.
I'm
this.
sure we're on some
It's
list
just a
somewhere now.
game, and we said it was going to get dark. We said it was going to get evil. This isn't your typical, rescue the princess kind of campaign. So, those of you out there who, don't appreciate that kind of stuff, that's the nature of this campaign.
We also won't harp on it very long either.
Correct. So, moving on. Yeah. Join us next week, Monday, 6:30 Eastern for this show. Tune in tomorrow for a much more lighthearted look at the Soul Severed campaign at some
Is that
less
much
evil
lighter?
heroes.
Well, it is less evil.
6 o'clock Eastern,
Yep.
right here on the same channel. Wednesday, 5 o'clock will be at Barnabas Brushes. You can check the links below to find that channel there on Twitch. In the meantime, be sure to check out the YouTube videos of both of those campaigns. Hit that subscribe button at YouTube. That's helping us a lot. We're already really kind of taken off, I think, with our subscribers.
Yep.
The numbers are, I'm pretty happy. And I think a large part of that is due to our new video shorts that we're doing, which you said are dropping on Fridays.
They will come out Friday at 6 p.m. So as you are getting home from work and maybe working on dinner, you can just plug them on, turn them on your TV. They're all in short form. None of them will ever be longer than 10 minutes, but the last few have been about 3, 4, 5 minutes.
Yep.
And we just cover some topics that we think are critical to if you're gonna start down this path to play Pathfinder or kind of want to learn what's going on. These would be good little videos to pick your brain about knowledge.
Absolutely, and the first two I've watched so far, I was really enjoying them. I think they're informative, and they set the stage for what we're going to do with those going forward. So be sure to tune to those on Friday. And I think that's everything I wanted to say. So we'll see you next time, and we'll catch you tomorrow for Soul Severed. Have a good night, everybody.
Absolutely.
Thank you for
Thanks, guys.
watching.
Yep.
Good evening.
Welcome to second level,
Yeah, second level,
dude.
and a HP soaked zombie.
Yeah, baby. He has almost as much HP as I do.
Okay.
Wow.
Wow. Okay. So I'm gonna have to work real hard